My name is Danny, and I just bought my first ever Audi.
Audi's always up.
It is a supercharged 3.0 liter Audi S5.
And even though it looks this good,
unfortunately, my name is Danny, and I never buy 100% good cars. This one came with one major issue. A year ago, this car, well, it sounded like this. And now it can't even simply move under its own power. But why would I do something so stupid? A little bit ago, my sister sent me this picture. That is young Danny in Cuba, where I'm from, and I lived since I was 9 years old, or from when I was born to 9 years old, and an Audi S4, I think, or A4, I don't know, but I remember this day vividly, like it was yesterday. Now, if you're born in the US or you're part of the free world, it may be really hard for you to understand, but in Cuba, those are not the cars that you see everybody driving around. And 98% of people there can't afford a car like that and will never step in one. And me as a little kid being in that car, which was a rental, my mom's friend and her husband took me out. I forgot exactly where we went, but they rented that car. I remember sitting in that Audi, even sitting in the passenger seat. And just, it was such an amazing moment that, well, I think at heart, guys, even though I always buy BMWs, I might be an Audi guy. Let's get to the fun part of this.
fun part because I've never even worked on an Audi before or driven one. And with the extent of the work we're gonna have to do with no experience, we really have to get off to a positive start.
This very car has over $13,000 in modifications, and you can see everything right here. Some of them include APR coil packs, carbon fiber, cold air intake, APR, bigger throttle body, smaller pulley, bigger pulley, a whole separate cooling system for the supercharger, a full set of $3,200 BBS wheels. I'm sorry. They just got here. They actually just got here. I'm sorry.
A full AWE touring exhaust. Woo, that sounds good. And of course, we can't forget about the tune from APR, putting this car right around 500 horsepower. And the awesome part, it's four-wheel drive, so these launches are gonna be insane.
And one of my favorite parts, we have suede interior. Are you kidding me? This interior from factory is actually insane. Flat bottom, start-stop button, dual clutch transmission. Of course, this is a four-wheel drive, and the coolest Lamborghini key I've ever held. Audi.
Actually, I have two keys. I've never had two keys for a car before.
Got an awesome screen, but unfortunately, battery is dead. Even though we got this car for half of what it's actually worth, we're already down around $300 for our battery. Fire in the hole. And 107,000 miles. But now, let's talk about the bad things.
After driving about 3 hours, I finally arrived at the shop where this car was sitting abandoned right next to, randomly, two Jeeps. And even though it looks absolutely amazing, there's one catastrophic issue.
You said you were just doing pulls and driving, and then it just...
Yeah, like I was just driving normally, and then I got the low oil pressure, and then it just went into limp mode and went to start back over. Then I got it towed here.
Oh, man.
Yup, this car had a mechanical catastrophic failure, basically meaning it needs a new engine. But with how good this car looks and all the modifications it has, even though I've never worked on an Audi in my life or even driven one, I love challenging myself, and this car has so much meaning to me that, hey, what better way to get to know your first Audi than to pull the whole engine out?
Said no one ever.
This car's like brand new, dude.
This car suffered from what is called a PCV failure, which is this very thing that's in front of me. This is the PCV system, very important, and when this fails, like some of these parts crack, oil starts mixing with coolant, and that's just not good. And I did open this up, and I can indeed confirm that's more of a slushy than actual oil. But before the surgery starts, which is take this engine out and put another one in, let's see if it starts. If this thing starts, I'm gonna be freaking out. What? I'm so confused right now.
I definitely was not expecting this car to start, especially when they told me the compression was so low that it doesn't start. So now I'm really debating on what to do.
You know what I'll bet, Danny? It's also possible that the oil pressure sensor was bad. Yes, I mean, the PCV failed and this and that. And the owner didn't take care of the car, in my opinion. I would obviously put the new engine in because you never know if it had any, internal friction, let's call it that, due to the oil pressure, possibly, and of course the improper lubrication.
Yeah, even though I want to do everything but pull an engine right now, he's right. He's right. I'm gonna do things the right way, and I love this Audi. It means a lot to me. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be that easy, but we came prepared. Follow me. What is up, y'all? Welcome to the van.
Another 7.5-hour round trip because we found the engine. And I've been renting this van so much from Home Depot, I think it's time we either get a truck or a van, but we made it to the most random junkyard in the middle of nowhere. But thankfully, they did have my engine, and they brought it over in a very special way. Oh, that's hilarious. And after making sure we secured the engine to the back of the van and drove over 3 hours back, we're home.
Here we have a 3.0 liter supercharged V6 from, well, an Audi S5.
It's powerful, it's reliable, and with just a few mods, you can push this engine/car to over 500 wheel horsepower. But unfortunately, I might have made a mistake by buying this exact engine.
The big issue, it came out of a flooded car. Now, thankfully, I was sent a video of this engine running. And the guy that sold it to me did say the water level wasn't high enough to reach anything important.
Thankfully, we're gonna find out very soon if water got inside of it or not.
After that happened to the previous owner, we're not just gonna throw this pretty much never touched engine back inside the car. We partnered up with FCP Euro and we're doing all the maintenance possible so this car never has any issues.
We're going to be replacing the PCV system, supercharged intercoolers, all the important gaskets, pipes, pulleys, water pumps, thermostat, but we're also going to be doing
the timing chain. Dun dun dun. Every 100,000 miles, Audis need to do the timing chain. And to do that, on the regular motor, it's in the front. Well, Audi wanted to be different, and the timing chain is actually in the back of the motor. Whew. If you're watching right now, please subscribe and hit that like if you haven't already. And comment, what's that one car you've never driven and never worked on? Because mine, it's an Audi. And I'm gonna remove the engine for the first modification. What? Oh my gosh, here we go. This is so heavy.
Again, massive thank you to FCP Europe for providing everything in this video. They are the go-to spot for high quality parts for your European car. Specifically OEM parts, but also performance. Whether you're fixing, upgrading, or just maintaining your car like I'm doing, hit them up. Link will be in the description to them and all the parts I'm using in this video. They have lifetime warranty, extremely fast shipping, and the best part of all, everything is much cheaper than you would buy at the dealership, and they sell the same parts they do. It's absolutely incredible.
Without you guys, this motor would have blown up again. So I love you. But on a serious note, I don't know where anything goes. And yes, timer has started. Am I gonna be able to do this? I don't know, but let's see how far we can get.
Yeah, let's get started with all the maintenance on this motor. And first things we have to do is remove the top supercharger or the blower because everything we need to change is sitting under it. And it was surprisingly pretty simple. You disconnect the 2 water pipes from the front, which is 6 bolts total, and then there's 6 bolts holding the supercharger down. Disconnect the bracket on the back, and voila.
Okay, I unbolted everything that I could find, and this thing is still not coming out. Oh my, oh wait, I think there's some bolts in the front. Oh, it's moving, it's moving. Woo, this is heavy. Let's go. This looks really bad.
And after removing the supercharger, we noticed right away this was a flooded car. I mean, look at all that corrosion and debris in there. Thankfully, no sign of water, but it sure is dirty.
But that's the PCV, and it's never been replaced. So that's great. Great news. I guess great news, maybe not. Let's keep going. Because I just have to hear this car and how it sounds like a Hellcat. So cool.
This is so disgusting. But now we're quickly moving on to removing the injector brackets. It's only being held on by a couple 10mm and some T40s up top. And yeah, it's kind of worse than I thought, and this might be a whole cleanup session time. And as this is my first time working on an Audi, this is one of many plugs I've already broken. Next up, it's time to remove the fuel line so we can get to the PCV and remove the crusty old thermostat, which is only being held on by a couple Torx bolts. And next up, getting to the PCV, we need to remove this water pipe that goes over it. And man, I wish I didn't have to. This thing felt like it was in there with super glue. Sorry, JB Weld. It simply did not want to come off at all. But after carefully using the vice grips...
Oh my gosh. Let's stinking go. That took forever. Oh, thank God, yes.
And now we can finally remove and replace the catastrophic failure point of this engine, the PCV system.
Oh, let's go. Yes. So I am absolutely no expert, but here we can get a really good look as to what could happen when your PCV system goes bad. There's coolant and then there's oil. Those two mix, you don't do your oil change, and well, you get low oil pressure and then the car pretty much... And here we have the old PCV compared to the new PCV. It's pretty much the same piece, but man, look how much nicer this one looks. Quick update. As you guys know, we recently just dropped more Driven Legends merchandise after like a year of never dropping anything. It's the X5M X340i collab. Cop that if you haven't already, but I do want to say thank you all so much for the support, and I apologize. Orders are taking a little bit longer because, as you know, me and Crystal and I are not shipping things out ourselves. We're using a different supplier, and I made somewhat of a mistake, and that's why orders are taking forever. So you will get your order, but I'm sorry that this little mistake is happening. It won't happen again. Again, thank you so much. I love you guys. It is that time once again. The best part of these videos is filling up this beautiful wall from the countries you guys are from. And today we're adding 5 right there. Here are the new flags we put up. Okay, we really are running out of space, y'all. But this looks so sick. Also, they're holding up great, but I might need to find a new way to put them up.
First big maintenance item, done. And now that it's out of the way, we can really clean this engine, which is knee deep in sand. Are you kidding me? Look at this. Another little maintenance item we're doing, the injector O-rings. It's simple and didn't take too long, but right above that, the intake manifold partitions, and look how full of carbon they are. That is supposed to look like this. So over here, let's clean them up a bit.
What in the world are these things? Look at this. What? That makes no sense. It's not these. Definitely not this.
Not this. Akita, do you know what it is? After some research, it is called a triple square spline. A triple square spline. Triple square spline. Triple square spline. I don't even know what to say to that. Let's take this thing off. Such a big brain fart. I completely forgot I was working on a Lambo. But thankfully, we received this water pipe because I thought it looked really new, and when I got up close, it's actually cracked right where the cylinder head sits. Also, just look how difficult it is to get to everything in here. Oh my, Audi. Audi, what are you doing? Audi!
Huh?
And look how crusty that water pump looks. Thankfully, FCP Hero sent us out a brand new one. And look how much better that looks. I love doing all these maintenance items on a car. Gotta start off on Audi's good side. We're gonna torque these down. Boom. Onto the valve cover gaskets. Oh, I think I just snapped something. Ugh. Yes, you just saw me break 3 clips back to back to back. Who's doing it? No one's doing it like me. We're just different out here. Honestly, I really don't know how to work on an Audi. Oh boy. I was taking out the cold packs as you guys saw, and on the very last, I'm not sure what cylinder that is, probably 5 or so, I see water. Thankfully, it's above the spark plug, and who knows, maybe when they were seeing if the motor was actually flooded before selling it, a little bit of rainwater got into it because it was raining that day. And the great news, the spark plugs where it makes spark was not wet, so we should be okay. We are a-okay. Oh man, now I can breathe. We didn't mess up on buying this motor. It wasn't flooded, and it really runs perfectly. We did not get scammed. And everything under the valve cover looks perfect. Except for the gasket. This thing is crusty. Thank God we're changing them out. Now we go back in with a new PCV. Time to do the whole timing. I'm talking about timing chain, guide, everything. And we do have everything timing that we need thanks to FCP Euro. Like I said, they pretty much provided everything, and they even provided someone that works on Audis all the time. Kiefer. No. Okay, folks, so we're already off to a weird start. I forgot to drain the oil before I started this. Oil looks good, y'all. No water. That looks really good.
Dude, that thing's gonna get full. It's gonna get full.
Oh, shoot. It's getting full. What do we do?
Plug it, yeah, plug it.
Plug it and transfer.
Plug it again.
This is bad. I can't find the hole. Dude, why are oil changes so difficult on this car? So what do I mean by the timing chain service? High mileage Audis are notoriously known for having timing chain issues due to timing chain guides cracking or breaking, or the tensioners just not holding tension how they should be. This could allow the timing chain to skip a tooth, the car has incorrect timing, and then catastrophic failure. But this is very tedious work we need to be extremely careful with. If we miss the timing by even a tooth when we start the car for the first time, I'm gonna wish I had never bought an Audi. Oh, look, that's broken right there. Look at that, broken guide.
Wow.
This one is snapped off, and over here, this is really bad too. That one's also snapped, so thank God we're doing this, because that could have been really, really bad.
Look at that. That was about to blow.
Sheesh. Dodged the bullet. Thing's brittle. Look how much it was hitting here. That's insane. Wow. That's the timing chain hitting. That's the timing chain not hitting. Wow, so the timing chain issue isn't a myth. So this engine was basically a ticking time bomb. And if you're wondering why I'm not taking it to the dealership and doing it myself,
Which vehicle do you drive?
so I have a 2013 Audi S5. And I'm just calling just to see how much it would be to do the whole timing chain job.
I'm just gonna have to gather some information from you.
Okay.
And have them give you a call back with that quote.
Okay.
What would be your first and last name?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a quote because they would need me to drive the car to the dealership and get it diagnosed, which doesn't make much sense. But I didn't want to give up because I want to know exactly how much money I'm saving by going through the pain of doing this myself. And after browsing countless of forums, I found someone that got a quote. $15,000.
Are you kidding me? We're doing this timing chain ourselves. I've never done it, but we're doing it.
But first things we have to do is remove the whole backing plate so we can really access the whole timing chain system.
This thing looks like it's gonna come out. Here we go. So I'm gonna hammer a little bit more. By the way, this is what Audi executives and mechanics do. Audi techs.
What's this?
Oh, I forgot a bolt. Oh, go on. Yes. Here we go, y'all. Yes. We did it.
Piece right here.
Oh, look, the timing chain is falling apart.
Wow, that looks intimidating. And we need to be fully focused. Unfortunately, the team is just falling apart.
Akira. Now, to do the timing, you need very special tools. Audi sells it for $350, but I picked a set from Amazon for $80, and I'm hoping this is gonna help us and actually do the job.
Step 1. We need to rotate the engine so the sprockets fall into the timing window and we can mark it.
Dude, I think this is already marked. Okay, keep going. Yeah, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Okay, stop right there. Because look, there's a mark right here on this. There's a mark right here. It's not fully where it needs to be though. But then again, I don't know if that's the marker for this. And here's the little, oh, there's no hole though.
So I don't think I stopped that there yet, so I have to go one more hole.
I'm afraid there isn't a hole here though. There's a plus mark. That looks in the middle. This, I mean, if we're going by the cross, that's in the middle.
Step 2. We need to lock the crank with this special bolt so nothing moves when we're tightening, untightening, and just working with everything. As well as lock both camshafts. Now that the timing is locked, we can fully remove everything, and then when we put everything back into place, the timing should stay where it was when we removed everything.
Now there really is no turning back. No. All right, remember you do that with that. Oh. Money.
After loosening the sprockets, now we can throw in this timing pin. It'll remove the tension so we can start moving the chains and all that fun stuff. Now it's really time to start taking everything apart. But of course, I took a bunch of videos because I can't remember anything that I'm doing right now.
Someone thought it was funny to put a little spring in the middle. Okay, so I think that's lined up. Pin out. Oh shoot.
During this work, there was a lot of little details we needed to remember. For example, the balancer shaft. Before loosening it, we needed to put a pin through the engine so it didn't move. And when tightening it, the bolts couldn't be on the edge. We needed to give it millimeters of clearance in case it needed to move.
Okay, we've been going absolutely nuts, y'all, because we pretty much get everything together, but now's the important part, and we have an issue. So, here's our line, and this is our timing window. This little groove is supposed to sit right in here, and it's not. So, we've been worried for like the last hour on what to do, but massive thank you to Need for Built. He said we're gonna move it back a tooth. It should sit still inside of the timing window, but when we're torquing it down and everything, it should sit perfectly on the weight. So I think we're okay, Kiefer. I think we're
Only
okay.
one way to find out.
Let's go. Whoa! Yo!
That's 90? That wasn't bad.
Those 90-degree turns were killer, but at last, we did it. We finished the timing chain job that Audi would have quoted us thousands and thousands of dollars to do. Round of applause for the fam. And after spinning the engine a bunch of times by hand, everything felt really, really good. So even though we're only gonna know if we did the job correctly when we put the motor in and start the car, as of now, I feel pretty good.
Oh my gosh. I just want to drive this car. I really just do. Engine is done. And now for engine number 2. I feel like this is where we're just getting started. But man, I can't get over how good Audis look. Look at that front end. Just simply insane. Okay, I think first things first, we take off this cover from bumper. We're looking at an Audi. What even is life right now? I'm so confused, but it is so sick. I think you push that down and then this comes up. Is that how this works? Oh, it is. Audi certified. Oh, here we go.
We also found another modification that's worth $1,000. And it is the AWE cold front, which like I previously mentioned, completely separates the cooling system with a supercharger.
Oh, oh, look at that. If you're wondering how long that took me, I would say 8.5 to 9 minutes to fully remove an Audi S5 front bumper. But overall time, we're at 10 hours and 30 minutes left to pull this motor and try to complete the challenge that I set for myself.
Even though I'm not so sure if that's possible, we gotta keep going and continuing with taking out the whole front end of the car. Headlights, core support, radiators, everything. First worked on taking out the whole cold front, which thankfully didn't have any coolant, and then we quickly moved on to taking out the headlights. But before we get to the cold support, we have to remove the front bash bar, which thankfully is just a couple bolts on each side and it comes right off.
I've never had to finagle off a crash bar. It usually slips right on and off. I'm pretty sure you had to take out the radiator, but thankfully I was able to go around it. Let's go. And one thing I'm doing, since I don't really know where anything goes, I'm putting back all the hardware exactly where I found it, because I don't want to lose any of this. I really don't. Is this what Audi ownership looks like? Like you buy the car and then you gotta remove the engine to be able to drive it and enjoy it? Probably not, right? But honestly, this is definitely making me closer to the car, and I feel like there's a connection going on here. There really is.
And that may seem like it didn't take long, but as a first-time Audi guy, that took forever. And by the way, this intake system is around $800. And that's not including the bigger 80mm throttle body, which is $900. We can definitely see the previous owner put a lot of time and money into this car with quality parts. But in reality, it's an Audi and it just keeps getting weirder.
To disconnect the AC line, you have to take out the header. It's literally hitting the header. What? Are you kidding me?
Okay, we didn't need to disconnect the header, but the fact that it's such a tight fit, it's ridiculous. And talking about tight fit, there was no room to get the hoses from the back of the engine out.
Come on, dude. Yes. Let's go.
Oh,
Nice.
this is upgraded.
Yeah? Oh, shoot.
That's definitely aftermarket. And that brace, it's also $500. And when looking at things from the bottom of the car, it sure got scary. There's so much going on. To disconnect the headers from the exhaust, it was a pain. We had to get some bolts from the top of the car.
3, 2, 1.
And after quickly looking up some videos online and reading the forums, we quickly noticed a pattern I'm simply not used to. Every single time I've removed an engine, I usually take it out from the top of the car with the transmission. Well, every time someone with an Audi removes an engine, they drop the whole drivetrain with the subframe. Something I've simply never done before. Even though I did not see this coming, now I think I know why. This car is a 4-wheel drive. That means less space and so many more components to disconnect if we just wanted to remove the engine by itself from the top. And then having to align everything putting it back is just going to be a massive issue. So after discussing it for a very long time, even though I don't think it's possible because I have such limited space and limited tools, we're gonna go for it and try to drop the whole drivetrain.
Never done this before. I'm really nervous, but it's fun. It's something we've never done before, so
That's how the dealership does it. So
yeah, we're
everybody says
Audi
it's,
certified.
everybody
If you
says
work
it's
on an
easy.
Audi for a living, you are not human. I don't know what's wrong with you. Get a BMW.
And first things we have to do is loosen up the torque converter because we're planning on buying a bench for everything to sit on and we simply won't be able to reach the bolts.
This is very tight in here.
So right now I'm taking out the strut. I really want to drive this car. I want to hear the whine. I want to feel an Audi 4-wheel drive launch. So we're doing it, and it's nerve-wracking, but I think we're gonna be okay. And that's generous. I actually don't think we're gonna be okay, but
Next dilemma. So our plan was to leave the brake caliper on here hanged up somewhere and then we would just drop everything, right? Well, we can't do that because as you're seeing, the brake line goes in between this wishbone and the suspension and it goes right into here. So we can't really leave it there because when everything goes down, it's gonna want to take the brake caliper with it. So now it's either we take these two off, which are a pain to put back, or but that does it for today. But it's the start of a new day. Let's go. Time to go buy a table because this is going to be very important when dropping everything. Unfortunately, the only one they had is 500 pounds. All the components we're dropping is around 900 pounds. Already off to a sketchy start. Thankfully, since we're dropping everything, there isn't a whole lot left to disconnect. Just the 8 subframe bolts.
If I said I wasn't nervous, I would be lying. So I got the bed on, I got a transmission jack all the way in the back. Everything's pretty much disconnected, at least to the extent that I can remember at this point. So I'll be doing this by myself. It is not ideal that I'm doing this by myself, but I think we're gonna be okay. Pretty much all that's left is disconnecting all the subframe bolts. There's 3 on this side, and that is one of them right there. And that is number 2 right there. And then there's 2 more in the back, so it's 8 total. I'm very slowly lowering everything down. But I was just thinking, how am I gonna be scared when we got Jesus by our side? We're good. We're good. Please.
But unfortunately, I did notice the table started giving out. Not because it wasn't holding the weight, but because it wasn't able to jack it up. Thankfully, I do have a crane. So now we have a crane, a table, and a transmission jack. I feel a lot better, and I think we got this. Oh, and we also got Papa Z trying to help out. And just like that, I kept going around the car, loosening the bolts little by little, lowering the transmission jack, the bed, and the crane. All very slowly to make sure we don't mess anything up. Last thing I want to do is rip a connector, rip a brake line, or break any water hoses. By the grace of God, hours later,
Anything is possible. The full subframe and engine is officially as low as it goes and no longer on the car. I mean, have you ever seen anything cooler than this? This is hands down the coolest thing I've ever done. Look at how insane this mess looks. Obviously, the suspension is just wobbly. There we have the transfer case, the transmission, the downpipes. This is crazy. And if we go over here, there we can see the transmission, the whole back of the engine, everything.
I really had no idea we would have to be doing all of this right when I bought the car. But I can truly say it was all worth it. This is hands down the coolest thing I've ever done. Dropping the whole drivetrain of the car, in possibly the sketchiest way possible, is something I'm never gonna forget.
Now we gotta pull everything out, but there's a lot of finagling that has to be done to do that, so we gotta go find somebody.
If you haven't already, all this truly deserves a big thumbs up, and don't forget, subscribe. It helps the channel so much, and we're almost at 300,000.
Thankfully, everything came out like a glove. All I had to do was lower the rear jack stand that's on the transmission, and it lowered even more. And this looks just even more insane out of the car. I mean, look at this whole drivetrain. Like, I would normally be sitting here, literally right here, just.
This is not like Tetris. I thought it'd be like Tetris, but I don't even know where you start.
All this transmission, engine, subframe, suspension.
Yeah, I'm noting this. I'm writing this down. But this is only like a one-time thing, right? You don't have to do this again, right?
I'm praying that I don't. To be honest, I'm praying that I don't.
Okay.
So the most difficult part for all this is putting everything where it's supposed to go, but also now we have to separate the engine from the transmission and the subframe. So we can throw this new one in. But before we throw this new one in, we have to move all the expensive modifications from here, such as the supercharger with the smaller pulley, the much bigger 80mm APR throttle body, AC compressor, alternator, upgraded high pressure fuel pump, and all the other little things I'm just forgetting at this point. The reason why this transmission is so big and bulky is because it isn't just your regular transmission. Since it's a 4-wheel drive.
Whoa. All-wheel drive. Repeat it with me. All-wheel drive.
Inside the transmission, there's a transfer case, there's a drive shaft, and there is a front differential. There's a lot going on here. Oh, man. I'm definitely thinking twice about my life choices at the moment.
And to help us maneuver around 800 to 900 pounds of car parts, we have a transmission jack, along with a bed that's only rated for 500 pounds.
Help me! Help me!
But we do have the mighty O engine hoist, so we should theoretically be okay. Right off the bat, step 1 is disconnect the transmission from the engine. That means we have to go around the whole bell housing and disconnect all the bolts, which you would think, since everything is outside of the car, is easy to get to. It is, but also there's a lot of bolts that are very difficult to get to.
We're looking really good so far on the impossible bolts. So far, I got all of them. The only two I'm missing is number 9 and number 8.
And with a little lamp, we were able to locate number 8 and number 9, which were just under the car, and it's very hard to get to because the transmission is currently sitting on the bed. So there's almost no room to get the bolts. So if you're doing this yourself, when everything is in the car, disconnect the bolts before removing it from the car. But with a lot of patience, we were able to get all the bolts off the transmission, and now the only thing that's holding the engine to the transmission and the subframe is 2 bolts to the engine mounts, 1 on each side.
Oh, but I can already see that the transmission is coming apart from the engine, which is absolutely awesome. Ooh, there we go. Pull the engine go up. Oh, jeez. Yep.
But here we go, we're almost there. The engine is almost detached from the rest of the drivetrain.
It's completely apart. No way. Okay. Now let's be careful about doing this. We're gonna go up with the engine. Let's go this way. That's incredible. Oh yeah, that's it. Look at that. Wow. Wait a minute. What? Oh, I have never seen that before, but we're just gonna leave it there like that. So we have somewhat of an issue. The only thing that's attached these two right now is this wiring loom. And why is it an issue? Because it's going around the front axle. And I believe it's plugging right into the crank sensor, but there's a sensor under the steering rack which I can't get to or even know how to disconnect. But we're just gonna have to get creative now.
But the scary part is, if anything fails, we can pretty much say goodbye to my arm, my hand, and it's just not gonna be a fun time. So let's try to get this plug out as fast as possible.
Come on. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Massive moment right here, y'all. Massive moment. Let's be very careful. We don't want anything to break. Yes. Amen. I feel like I scored a goal in the World Cup final. Now, before I forget, I do want to throw on the new engine mounts. Big thank you to FCP Euro for providing all the maintenance parts. As you guys saw in the previous episode, we did the timing chain, everything.
As you can see, the engine mounts have a plug on them, which is extremely weird. But that is because they are hydraulic engine mounts. They are filled with fluid that dampens the vibration caused by the engine. It's really cool, but they do fail. So, since everything is out, we're changing them out.
And the great thing about having a fully assembled engine, now I can see how all this goes. Because let's just say after I did all the maintenance, I really forgot how everything went. So that's gonna be an incredible point of reference.
Starting with the APR coil packs, which are roughly $300.
Even though we got that nice little upgrade and saved a ton of money, we did have to get new spark plugs. We went with NGK 2669, I think. This was a recommendation, and we're gonna gap them to 0.26. And the reason why we're making the gap smaller when we're making more power is because the more power, the more pressure there is inside the cylinder, and the more likely that you're gonna get spark blowout, and the spark isn't gonna reach where it needs to reach properly. So a smaller gap will ensure it does what it needs. And typically you don't want like a special tool, but I just have this AutoZone little gapper. We're gonna measure it if it touches. If it's not, we're gonna hit this, and when it's just tight enough, we're done.
I definitely don't picture the Audi technicians are doing these at the shop, and that's why they're probably getting paid the big bucks. Me, I'm just trying to survive and get this car running.
And we're gonna do that 6 more times. Let's go.
Spark plugs are done being gapped. Now we can move on to start putting everything back onto the engine. And I simply just cannot wait to get this car running. Now here's where things get a little bit complicated. When installing Audi's intake manifolds, we have to be very careful because it's not your regular intake manifold. These have runners, or these little flaps that open and close. They are designed to optimize airflow into the engine based on driving conditions. So if you're at lower RPMs, they're a little bit closed, and if you're in wide open throttle, they're fully open to ensure you get the most airflow into the engine. But when installing them, we have to make sure they're fully open. That means I have to apply pressure, because if I don't, they're not going to sit properly and get jammed. We just have to be extra careful with it. And we are changing over the fuel pump because one, I believe it's modified, I'm not 100% sure. But secondly, we know this one works 100%, the one from the new engine, we picked it up from a junkyard, so you just never know with these parts.
Honestly, I'm curious to see how the intercoolers look, if they have a bunch of oil on them, if they don't. I'm gonna say they got a bunch of oil on them. Woo. Oh, what? Not too bad. Oh, thank God we're changing this. Check that out.
That is disgusting. You can clearly see how coolant mixed up with oil, and you got all sorts of weird slush in there. But thankfully, like Chris Vick says, out with the old and in with the new. We have to give a massive thank you to FC Pure for partnering up with us in this build.
Here we go, y'all. Big moment right here. Time to throw on the good old Hellcat blower. Oh boy. Okay, so we pretty much messed up. I got way too excited installing the Hell Kitty Kitty blower, and we absolutely crushed a connector. Thankfully, we have another engine over there. As you're seeing, this connector is just no good at all, but the pins are still good and the wires are still good. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I think we can de-pin this. And this is the plug that goes to the actuators that open up and open and close the intake valves, or not valves, the little gates, you could say. Come on. Oh, nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the engine is fully complete. Wow, that took all day. Here we go, y'all. Once this engine goes on the air, that's it.
One thing I am going to do is put some grease, because these engine mounts slide down into a perfectly fit groove, if that makes any sense. So anything that'll make it slippery will help. But something I noticed, the starter doesn't look right.
Come on out, buddy. Well, I hope that didn't break. There we go. That's how it's supposed to sit. Never mind, got it wrong again. Good thing I filmed everything, and how crazy is it that if you want to do the starter on this car, you have to remove this motor mount and somehow get in there just to remove it. Pretty much the engine has to come out if you're gonna do the starter on this car. That's ridiculous. Wow.
I have a feeling in the future I'm going to hate myself for not changing out the starter.
Just like that. Whew. Hopefully I can do this by myself. Here we go, boys.
And now we start putting everything back. First things first is connecting the engine to the subframe through the engine mounts.
Okay, so we have to jack up the bed. Big problem, my friend. This has to be forward like this, but I can't move the engine forward and push down like that. Another thing just happened. You guys remember this plate? Probably don't. I don't think I've talked about it, but this goes in between the engine and the flywheel.
I guess in the bright side, it's a good thing that I saw it laying down on the ground. Now we have to pull back the engine, drop it, take off the flywheel.
This goes just like that. Why? I couldn't tell you.
Put everything back, and we're good to keep going.
Oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh my gosh.
We've got to be more careful. Let's keep going. The engine mount needs to go down precisely and slide right into there. After that's bolted up, we can then start focusing on lining up the middle of the flywheel with the torque converter that goes into the transmission. In simple terms, this needs to go directly into this, so everything bolts up properly. Now that the engine is locked into place, we can start messing with the transmission to get all the bell housing bolts lined up and bolted up.
Oh no. Oh, no way. Are you kidding me? We're almost there, and we just had our first actual casualty. We're almost there, though. Check this out. Oh, can we do it? Oh, it's so close. It's so close.
But if you're all wondering how I'm able to do this, I simply cannot do it without the greatest person on earth. Crystal is literally just simply the best person I've ever met. And after I enjoyed my protein bowl,
ladies and gentlemen, would you believe me if I said this is the final bolt we have and everything's pretty much assembled and done? Wow, this is difficult. This is difficult.
Here we go. It feels like we're halfway there, but in reality, we have so much more work ahead of us. But really just one step at a time. What a massive accomplishment it is that we got everything met up and perfectly ready to go inside of the car.
Brand new O2 is in, but I just realized we have an issue, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good stud. That's a bad stud. Oh no. Stud is completely snapped. But thankfully, I do have this extractor tool, and I'm gonna try my best to carefully extract it out, and then we can get a stud from that engine and put it in here. So how this works is, you can see it expands and then it tightens up, allowing us to grab it and hopefully pull it up.
Unfortunately, the stud and the tool have a different idea in mind.
That's looking tough, y'all. That's looking tough. I don't want to keep wasting time, so we're just gonna remove this header and put it on this engine.
You might think this alternative is a lot more work, but in reality, when you're messing with extracting broken studs, it could take either 10 more minutes or 3 more hours, which we can't risk it, we don't have.
But now, we can put the down pipes on, or the test pipes, and well, I think that's the last thing before we start throwing everything back. There we go, much better.
And now we can throw on the test pipes. And a crazy fact that I just learned about, these cars' engines are known for blowing up due to bad catalytic converters. How crazy is that?
Well, another stud is snapped. I even tried my best, but too old and rusty. Too old and rusty. So we're gonna remove the other header.
Unfortunately, yet another stud was snapped. So now we have to successfully do the extraction mission because we have to move a stud from the old header to the new engine's header. Success. Let's go. Here we have the wiring. Everything's pretty much set up. I feel really good except for these two plugs. They're completely broken and I don't quite know exactly where they go, although I think this one is for the secondary O2 sensor because it looks just like the one from the other side. But this little one, I have no idea where this one goes.
No idea at all. Like, so I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I know exactly where these two go. The bad news is for the O2 sensor, and the new one I bought, well, it has the wrong plug. And I would repin it into this one, but this one only has 5 pin locations, while this one has 6.
We win some and we lose some.
I guess we're going with the old plugs, y'all.
But nothing's gonna stop us from completing this project, that's for sure. This alternator bolt, I simply don't understand how anybody can get their hand in there. But hey, it's an Audi.
Alternator on. AC because we're in Florida on. Downpipes on. New headers on. All the wiring done. But we have an issue. If you come right over here, I cannot seem to find the secondary O2 sensor. It goes right into there and I simply can't find it. I know I have a really big mess, but, and no, it's not. It's not this one. Yeah, I simply cannot find it at all. But let's go. Everything is done. So I'm put everything back. Cannot believe we made it to this point.
The moment we've all pretty much been waiting for. Let's throw the new drivetrain in the car and pray to God it works.
Now I do have a feeling that putting it in is gonna be harder than pulling it out, but
one, we have to make sure we're putting in the engine the correct way. We have to be careful we don't break any hoses, any wires, any plugs. Double check that the struts aren't hitting the frame, they're going right where they need to be going.
I got a good strategy going.
And above all that, the transmission needs to line up perfectly with the drive shaft that's waiting for it in the car. And of course, we have to make sure the subframe bolts match up to the frame.
Okay, how do I get out? Oh, I didn't think this through. Oh shoot, I'm stuck, yo, I'm stuck. Okay, I pretty much ran out of room in there, unfortunately. So now we're just gonna have to pull and just kind of maniggle, or is that a word, maniggle? Everything in there from the front, which it's gonna be a little harder, but I think we got it. Found it. Ugh. We're almost there. One thing for sure though, I'm sleeping good tonight.
But to be able to finish this job, we need help. Shout out to my lovely wife.
I'm gonna be under the car and I'm gonna be pushing this shifter up. This shifter has 4 bolts. 2 in the back, 2 in the front. And you see there's 2 holes up top and 2 at the bottom. We gotta try to align it and shoot and feel it through.
I simply can't blame her. I've been working on this car for so long, I simply have something I like to call mechanic brain rot. My intellectual abilities are currently at a 30%.
Yep, push through. What the heck? The plastic thing doesn't even line up.
And after what took way longer than I thought it was gonna, she got it. She freaking got it.
You are a legend. Yes. Everything's almost in, and thankfully, as you know, we broke this, unfortunately. Well, this one just came in, so now we can change it out. Everything is still lowered. Thank God, because I don't want to change this out when the car's fully in the car. nearly there. Oh, we're so close. We're so close.
By far the most difficult part is making sure all the subframe bolts line up properly. And I believe to make things a little bit easier, the smart thing to do would be put the struts in place where they need to go. From there, we should be able to start lining up the holes better. Then fully straighten out the transmission.
We're almost there. Look at the transmission mount. I think we're gonna be able to get it because not only that, we can slide it out, so. Oh, that's it right there.
And now we should have a better shot at actually bolting up the subframe. Woo, we got it. It actually worked. And you may have seen seconds of it, but this took hours to do. A massive thank you to Papa Z for pulling up and helping on this side. This will definitely make things go a lot faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, after what was the biggest job I've ever done in all my years of working on cars, we finally did it. We did it. So now I'm gonna lower this jack or engine hoist. I'm gonna take the table off, and the engine and the drivetrain should stay on the car. If it falls off, my bad. It should stay on though.
Here we go, very steady.
We're good.
This is insane.
And that goes to show that doesn't matter what anybody tells you that's gonna be too difficult or you can't do. Well, trust me, if you take your time, you practice, or I don't know what you're trying to do, but trust me, you can do it. And the fact that we did this is insane. Now, I'm just praying that it starts up and that this car isn't gonna end up in a dumpster if it doesn't start up and sound fine.
This has felt like the journey of a lifetime. From ups to downs to pushing around over 700 pounds. We're here, we did it. The drivetrain is in the car, fully bolted up how it should be. Ready to start up.
This deserves a massive thumbs up and subscribe. I barely asked for it and I never mentioned it, and I'm sorry if I'm gonna get a little aggressive, but if you have not hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for whenever I upload. Just kidding, I love y'all. Just you watching me do stupid things like this is a massive blessing. And that's one of the reasons I like doing little giveaways and doing things like this, to give back in any way I can.
Even though we made it this far, it feels like I have so much more ahead of me. Which we technically do. If you're impressed as to how I remember where everything goes, don't be. I literally took unlimited pictures and videos to know exactly how everything goes routed, where everything goes plugged into, and even where the clips go. So if you're doing anything on a car, make sure to document how it went before you took it apart.
You know what that means, right? And this car does take a whopping 7.2 quarts of oil. So it's gonna be one of these, and then I'm just gonna do 2 of little bottles. My heart's pounding really bad right now.
Okay, here we go.
Boom.
Here we go.
Let's see if the car gets power.
Heart rate might be at 200 beats per minute.
Okay. Car has power. It started, but it died. But it started. What is life? I'm shaking. I'm gonna clean this up. Let's put this on because this is it has to do with oil. And we can get going, we can get going.
That was the greatest worst start I've ever heard. But the car started. The starter works, the wiring is good. It started. Charging battery, here we go. What is life? Are you kidding me? And Papa Z absolutely loved it too. He's seen me do countless of things in this little garage, but even he was extremely worried about this project because, like I've mentioned, it is a lot of work and engineering with a platform I've simply never even driven. But with the help of God, we did it.
Doesn't feel real. I mean, by the looks of it, let's get serious for a second. The car sounded amazing. I revved it. Everything sounded good. Oh my gosh. We got the timing right. The amount of pressure on my shoulders just... Oh my gosh, you guys. That's insane. I mean...
And now we can really start to button up everything, including start pulling cooling into the car, which we're using G40, extremely fun in stores, so I went ahead and got it from FCP Euro. Unfortunately, there's kind of a big coolant leak going on. Yup, from the top radiator hose. Fortunately, we're going to figure something out. Unfortunately, there's no place to get this hose at this time.
Here's my thought. Since this hose, I guess the O-ring inside is just bad, it's crusty, I don't know. Either way, since this one's bad, what I think is I'm gonna cut right here, swap out, and I think we're gonna have a good hose. I'm praying. Let's go.
I definitely should have done a test run, but we have to be extremely careful. We cannot cut through the hose.
Oof. So, do you guys see that? I almost just cut through the hose, but hose is good. Oh, I cut through the hose on this one. Check this out, y'all. I really pray this works. Look at that. It's not gonna be as nice as this one-time clamp. We're gonna have to use this one, but it should work, y'all. It should work. No, this is not a smoking device, but we have an issue. The car simply doesn't start. I believe it's because we don't have a lot of pressure, brake pedal pressure, because we did lose a lot of fluid when changing out the brakes. So this little device, we put it over the brake reservoir, we pump a lot of pressure in there, and it's as if someone was pressing the brake pedal, but we don't need someone to do that. So we're gonna leave it up here, apply pressure, then we can go on both sides, bleed the system, and then hopefully start the car, bleed the car, drive the car.
You may notice I didn't fill it up with fluid, which you need to do. With this device, it's actually very, very good for bleeding brakes, especially if you're doing it by yourself. Highly recommend. I believe I picked it up on Amazon for around $30. This car has been running for quite a long time and it sounds so incredibly good. The only thing that's scaring me is there's smoke coming from the engine bay, specifically from the valve covers. But we did redo the timing, opened up the valve covers, under the supercharger, everywhere. So I'm sure the car's just burning things off. We should be okay.
I don't know, there's also bad gas in there, but overall the car sounds great. So how are you feeling right now? I have never seen this before in my life. It's all the way, look how cool the little screen is, but it's all the way on hot. The AC is still cold, so that means it hasn't entered the heater core that's inside here. But check this out. It hasn't gotten hot yet. Keep in mind, the car's been on for a very long time. So, but man, this thing sounds, let's see how it sounds from the inside. This is crazy.
Yup, that's a pile of oil under the car.
I haven't gotten under the car yet, but I'm very ashamed of myself. This is the rear main seal. If this car is leaking oil that bad through the rear main seal,
Oh my god, bro, that's crazy. That's insane. Wow.
I completely forgot to install the rear main seal.
And if you're wondering why I'm being so dramatic,
Well, that's it right there. There it is, the rear main seal. Truly a rookie mistake. We were so focused on, is the timing right, is it not right, getting everything back together, this and that, and so overwhelmed, I completely forgot to do the rear main seal. And now it's leaking, and now, yes, we have to drop the transmission. But you guys, we've done all this work on this car. The least we could do is drive it. Let's go drive it. I'm gonna finish everything up. Next clip you see, it's gonna be on the ground and we're driving it.
or so I thought. Turns out there's something very wrong going on with the transmission.
Nice. What was that sound?
There's a weird screeching sound whenever the car's in gear and when I'm pressing the brake. It goes into gear perfectly and the wheels sometimes rotate, but as soon as I start pressing the brakes to slow down, the screeching, weird clunking sound starts. And then if I put it back into drive, the wheels don't move anymore.
Looking through the footage, I noticed when I first took apart the engine, I noticed that fire ring right there. Now, I know for a fact when I was putting the engine back into the transmission, I put the fire ring on here instead of the torque converter. What if I was supposed to put it on the torque converter so then it had a stopping point here on the flywheel rather than it maybe going all the way down, because I put it on here and then when pushing it in, it brought it all the way down. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm right. Audi people, please help me. I think I'm gonna have to drop the transmission. This is the first time we start up the car. Did you catch that? Pay attention down here. Me not knowing anything about Audi, I thought that this right here and the lines going into it were part of the engine oil cooler. Turns out, this is a transmission cooler and these lines are coming out of the transmission. I'm not 100% sure, but here's where my theory comes into play. If the transmission did lose a ton of oil, which it lost some, but I can't remember if it was that much, it could potentially be making all those noises and not functioning correctly. So maybe it's not the original issue that I thought it was gonna be. Maybe the transmission's just low on fluid because, well, it spewed out a good amount of fluid.
And if that's the case, we may just be the luckiest people out there, because I'd rather change out oil than drop a whole transmission. Thankfully, we do have fluid, so let's test it out.
Nice. Yeah, that's full.
Unfortunately, the transmission didn't even take a full quart.
There we go. Yeah! I don't think it's gonna work, but let's try it. We're gonna be very careful too. We don't wanna mess up the transmission if it's still bad. No bueno. That's not good. We got another coolant pipe leaking. Jeez, do all these leak? Okay, now the fun part is figuring out how to drop this transmission. So a good thing we already had everything outside, so I was able to scan and look at everything for a good amount of hours. So I know exactly everything we have to disconnect. The issue is, can we get to it from such uncomfortable, claustrophobic,
horrible positions. The easiest part is gonna be taking out the transmission brace, I guess you could say. We also have to lower the steering rack, disconnect the drive shaft that goes in between the transmission from the front wheel to the other front wheel, bell housing bolts, transmission cooler. I'll be honest, I'm talking because I don't want to start.
Here we go again.
And trust me, I am just as curious as you are. Also, I'm not gonna stop this timer ever, so even when I go eat and things like that, this is gonna keep going. So it might be a little inflated, but after we, hopefully, God please help us, we get the transmission out, we can then talk about the number. Wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen. This Audi is gonna be driving today and making some serious power, I promise. Let's go. Again, we do have a problem, pretty much running out of space, so now it's time to take over this wall with today's new 5 flags. Let's go. And the question of the day today for everybody is, what's one country that you really want to visit? For me, it's definitely Japan. I really want to go so bad. And of course, Germany would be sick to visit as well. But here are the 5 new flags. Thank you guys so much. And comment below, yeah, what's one country you really want to visit?
Well, let's not get overwhelmed and start one step at a time. With the easiest thing, disconnect the only plug that goes into the transmission. Next on the list is disconnecting the exhaust from the downpipes or the test pipes, which at first was pretty difficult, but I've done it so many times now that it actually isn't too bad at all. But something happened. As I'm trying to show the drive shaft that connects both axles, I noticed something every time I spun the wheel. The driver's side axle is snapped for some reason.
Oh my gosh. That's not supposed to be like that. I don't know what to say. That probably looked extremely scripted, but I promise you, it wasn't. This car has a broken axle. We're gonna disconnect it from the center diff or whatever you would call it. And if the transmission is still making that noise, then we still have to drop it. If it's not, then we just need an axle. We just need an axle. I'm the type of guy to snap an axle without even driving the car. Let's go.
And after disconnecting all 6 triple square bolts, here we go, time to test the theory.
By the way, this is gonna be loud.
Nope, that wasn't the issue either. At this point, I'm just getting my hopes up by finding different issues, but none of them is truly fixing the biggest one that doesn't allow us to drive the car.
So not only do we still have to drop the transmission, now we also have a broken axle.
And the first things we have to do is disconnect the exhaust because it's pretty much in the way of everything else we need to disconnect.
For those of you that don't know, this car came with a full AWE exhaust, which is very expensive. Now we have to start disconnecting the transmission from the engine. Papa's here. He's gonna give us a hand because we gotta hold the crank while I unbolt the torque converter from the engine under the car.
Funny enough, a lot of people forget this step and they wonder why the transmission never comes off.
5 more to go.
Next up, what I think is gonna be surprisingly the hardest part or most annoying part, we have to get on top of the transmission because there's a little bolt holding the transmission line that goes right to here. We don't want to disconnect it from here. We're going to disconnect it from the cooler that's going into the transmission. So we already got the cooler disconnected. We just have to disconnect the line bracket from the top of the transmission.
Starter and bolt number 1. Thankfully, I have just enough room. I already cracked it loose. Look at that. We got it. Look at that. Working on an Audi's not that bad. I don't know why everybody's complaining. Another main component that needs to come off and pretty much what transfers the power to the rear wheels is the drive shaft because it goes connected to the transmission, and well, we can't drop it with this big thing in the way. It's a slip-on, so it slips right off the transmission side, and with the bracket it's connected to the chassis of the car in the middle, and then at the rear differential it is a total of 6 triple square sockets. But it is a precise cut, meaning Audi only gave us a millimeter of clearance to be able to remove it.
Yes!
But honestly, things are looking really good so far. Next up, we have to remove the front axles. because since it's an all-wheel drive, they go connected to the transmission as well. This is my person that's pressing the brake pedal, and it'll give me enough resistance where I can unbolt all the triple square bolts from the transmission. After that's done, we had to move on to the steering rack. The reason to remove it is we need as much clearance as possible when the transmission's being dropped down. And it wasn't horrible, just one bolt on each side, and that's pretty much it. Also, here's a word of advice: whenever you're removing things, put them back to where they go so you don't lose them or forget. And now, onto the annoying part. We have to unbolt the transmission cooler lines from the top of the transmission. I think this little short ratchet is the only way.
Putting the socket on it. I'm on it. It's slipping though. Genuinely just going by all feel right now. I think it's loose. We got it. We got it. We got it. Yes!
Here we go. Next up is the shifter because it needs to come down with the transmission. I haven't figured out how to take it apart so I don't have to do this. So I'm just going to nicely keep dropping it with the transmission. Yep, that's exactly how we're getting all the bell housing bolts, with the longest possible extension I could find. And in case you're wondering, there's a total of 10 bell housing bolts we have to get. We already got the 3 at the bottom and the 2 at the starter. And we're really getting our money's worth with this table because we're going to be using it to drop the transmission. And if you're asking why, 1, the transmission is very heavy, and 2, by adding these wood blocks, not only is it going to be easier to drop the transmission, but I'm thinking when we put it back into place, it'll keep the exact angle and not move around as much, so it'll be an easy up and down.
But we got one bolt left. I'm so thankful. I believe we're gonna pull it off. The transmission should be down on the ground in the next 20 minutes. Now, horrible news, I have no idea how I'm gonna put this up there.
Here we go. Here comes down the trans.
Yep. And that's it.
That was easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming apart. Let's go.
Cannot believe we're actually getting this done. I was terrified of these bell housing bolts, especially when 98% of jobs like this on Audis are done at a reputable shop or at a dealership. Meanwhile, I'm here doing this. But hey, slowly but surely, we're getting it done. Finally, the transmission's fully separated from the engine. And right off the bat, I noticed exactly what I thought the issue was. Instead of the ring being inside of the transmission, it got wedged all the way into the flywheel, not letting it be properly sat inside of the transmission. Wow.
Here it is. I can't lie. I am exhausted. But to think we went through all that trouble because of this. So theoretically, when I put this correctly, everything should work. But now the transmission is lowered, thank God. I don't know how I'm going to put it back up. I'm going to be honest. Everything is so tight in there. It is nearly impossible. But take off the flywheel, see what's leaking oil, fix that, put this back, transmission back, drive the car. Yes. And just like I promised y'all, so far we're at 8 hours and 54 minutes. Obviously, like I said, I didn't stop it, so I'm going to stop it right now. I'm probably going to take off like an hour and a half. In reality, it should be 2 hours, but I'm just going to take off an hour and a half. So let's say we did that in 7 hours and 20 minutes. Is that bad, y'all? I don't know. I feel like at dealerships, they would do it in like 30 minutes. I accidentally dropped the transmission a tad bit too quickly, and I forgot to disconnect the auxiliary coolant pump that for some reason is bolted right on top of the transmission. And well, it broke. And by the way, breaking the pump was a $140 mistake. Yeah.
To rival that, in great news, the ring was in perfect condition. It went right in, was not damaged at all, which is amazing. Look at that, y'all. Yes! I was right. You're supposed to tap it in there. And this is even a little slit that it comes with. So you can see under there. So it can actually come in and out of there. So there you go. We live and learn. One issue down, another one to go. How are we going to take off this rear main seal? Because honestly, I've never done it. Thankfully, I have another engine I can practice on. The plan is we're going to drill a small bit into the rear main seal and then put a bolt in it. And in theory, by prying on that bolt, the seal should come off, right?
Oh, it's working. Look at that. It's out. Let's go.
We passed the test. So now we're ready and confident to try it on our precious engine. And look at that. Look how much oil was leaking. Wow, that's ridiculous. Here we go. I feel like I'm doing surgery. We have such little room, but we have to carefully drill into the seal. Drilling is done. Now we can put in the new bolt, and I'm thinking it should come out. Whew, let's go, we're 50% there, although the next 50 should be pretty simple. The rear main seal comes with this plastic piece that allows it to sit perfectly where it needs to sit, and then we can softly tap it evenly with a hammer, as well as use the old rear main seal to really give it an even tap in. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we should have no more rear main seal oil leaks. At least I hope. Like, we gotta wait till we start the car. And unfortunately, we can quickly see why the old one was leaking so bad. The seal was pretty much bent and not how it's supposed to sit.
We're done there. Now it's time to move to this wheel because we gotta take out the axle. Dun, dun, dun. And to do so, we're using the biggest Allen socket I've ever seen. 19mm right there. And we need to take off. Boom. We just had to call a special guest. Woo! Press the brakes, girl. Nope.
Ugh. This bolt was on there like swimwear. It did not want to come off. The torque spec for it, I think it's 160 foot-pounds, and it's never been taken off since 2013 when this car was made. But hey, there's no other way to go about it. We gotta pull this off. And if you're wondering what happened to the axle, I'm pretty sure when we first had to drop the whole drivetrain, I might have yanked on it a little too hard where it just popped out of its place. And now that the transmission is down, it is a great time to change out the filter. Time to do what I've been dreading this whole time. Let's put the transmission back into place. Or at least attempt.
Oh boy. The one good thing is the transmission tunnel is pretty much the same exact size as the transmission. So if we jack it up, it should go into place. And I think we're going to have to jack up the motor so it tilts a little bit back. But if we need to do that, we'll do it when we get there. For now, it's going to hit the heat shield right here. Man, I've never seen a transmission so tight in the tunnel. I mean, nice. It got past the heat shield. We're going out perfectly, but look how tight this is. It's literally scraping with the heat shielding of the car. I was not kidding when I said it was tight. That should be a little easier than I thought. Oh, wait. We got the shifter in the back. Oh, got the shifter in the back. Hold on.
The plan for the shifter, since it's so bulky, is to zip tie it where it needs to go back in place. So when we're moving the transmission up and down, side to side, it doesn't get damaged. Because this is probably a part that's pretty pricey and not easy to get. That was much easier than I thought. Let's go!
The reason it's so much harder now is because when we were taking it off, we were able to drop the transmission all the way down. Now, since we have to pull the transmission up and hold it there, it's hard for us to even get to the bolts. And obviously we can't drop it all the way because none of the bolts are connected.
And the final Bilhausen bolt goes in. Woo! The transmission is fully on its own. But now we somehow have to put the new auxiliary pump back in its place on top of the transmission.
Big moment right here. Exhaust goes on, and after that happens, we pretty much can start the car and it's not going to be overly loud, so we can hear if the transmission is good or if we didn't fix anything at all. And we did all that for nothing. Finally, exhaust is on, and obviously everything else that I think I just did a time lapse because there was so much to do. Now we're gonna start the car and see if we fix the transmission issue or if we're gonna go ahead and tow this car into a ditch where it might stay for a little bit. Jump start the car. It's not starting. Okay. Please start, please start. Here we go. Are the wheels moving? They're not? What was that sound?
Oh no, that sound sounded like it was coming from the transmission.
Okay, so I forgot to take this shield off. Maybe this was the sound. It was scraping against this. That thing is in there. Okay, that's off. I don't know why the wheels weren't moving, but I think the sound may have come from that. Maybe the front wheels were spinning and the rears weren't because maybe the e-brake is on. I don't know. Is it moving? Are the wheels moving?
Yeah.
What about the front right? No? What about the other side? Is the other...
Back ones, yeah.
So both back ones are moving?
Yeah.
What about now?
They're moving.
They're moving? Okay, I'm stopping.
Yeah.
They stopped? Oh my gosh! Okay, I'm going into drive. Are they moving the opposite way?
No, they're not moving.
They're not moving? But they were moving in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're not moving because we're up in the air. And it's giving me like a bunch of like fault codes for the... I don't know. Okay. Good thing is, we found out what the noise was. Now it's not making any noise whenever I put it into reverse. Usually when it was in gear and then I pressed the brakes, that's when it started going. It's not doing that anymore. It sounds amazing. Okay, we turn it off. Let's start it back up again and see if it lets us move it in the beginning. Alright. Going into drive. Are we moving? Is it moving? It's moving?
Yeah.
Second gear. Is it still just moving?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good. I think we're good. I think the reason it stops, it's because I guess whenever I go into drive... Oh, it's stalled. I don't know why it's stalled. I think we fixed it! I think we fixed it! Yes! I think we fixed it. I mean, it went into reverse, it went into first, also it went into second gear. I saw the S2 on the dash. No horrible transmission noise. Oh my gosh. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
You did it. You did it. You did it.
But for now, what the plan of action is, we're gonna fully bleed the system, and then we're going for the first drive. But this is no typical first drive. But let's start modifying this car with a massive sponsor of this build, Canadian Auto Performance. You guys are gonna see we're completely transforming this car with their help. So they're a massive sponsor. All the parts we're going to be installing will be linked in the description. Oh man, smash that thumbs up, y'all. That was the most nerve-wracking moment ever. I can't believe we actually did that.
And what better way to celebrate with modifications than starting with Canadian Auto Performance's massive 191mm crank pulley.
As many as you may know, this is my first ever supercharged car, so there's a lot of learning here because I come from turbos. But superchargers work with the belt system, and that is why we're getting a bigger crank pulley from, of course, the biggest sponsor of this build, Canadian Auto Performance. Massive thank you to them. This crank pulley is 191mm in diameter compared to the stock ugly crusty one, which is only I think 162.25mm. But here's why you want a bigger crank. Imagine the bigger the crank, the more the pedal you have. So the faster the belt spins, and then you have a smaller pulley on the supercharger. So you just make so much more boost than if it was a bigger supercharger pulley and then a smaller crank. That's crazy. Wow. That's insane, honestly.
Starting with the easy part, step 1 is to remove the belt. Step 2, and the most important one, is remove the stock pulley, which is being held on by 8 triple square sockets, and there's actually one bolt that's called an offset bolt. The stock supercharger pulley has it marked. Keep that in mind when you're installing the new one.
Thankfully that was not stuck on, but look at the size of that. The stock one literally fits inside of the new one. That is ridiculously cool.
This aftermarket crank pulley also has marked where it has its offset bolt, so you just want to match it up to where the factory one was. Pretty simple. And look how good that looks on there. This is going to be perfect for when we get the Stage 2 Plus tune. And it's so big, in fact, you actually do have to shave off this little part of the block. Be very careful. Not a lot needs to be shaved off, but do it just in case so the belt doesn't rub and get destroyed.
Man, does it finally feel incredible to finally modify this car and make it as great as possible. But with that being said, we have more incredible modifications which I actually have never installed. Here we have rear subframe inserts, rear differential mount inserts, transmission insert, and of course rear differential carrier insert. Now I had no idea installing billet inserts was so important in these cars, but it is. It's a big modification. Reason is, since it's 4-wheel drive, whenever you're launching it and all that good stuff, you want as little slack on the drivetrain as possible. When you launch the car or you're upshifting and downshifting and driving aggressively, all those rubber bushings are gonna move around and not be as stiff and aggressive as you want them to be. Installing these inserts removes all that slack and drivetrain loss, so you get a nice crisp launch, downshifts, upshifts, acceleration, everything we're going to be doing. Starting with the easiest one, and that is the transmission insert. This thing just goes right into here. This is gonna make shifting so much more smooth and it's gonna feel so crisp. Ooh, just like that. Look how good that looks on there. It's like a smiley face. 2 eyeballs, smiley face, and a nose.
And as for the rear inserts, well, they weren't that bad to do. And I do know they're going to make a difference, especially for a car that's from 2013.
Now we got the best for last and the biggest one by far. As you know, this car came modified. It does have a bunch of modifications, including an AWE cold front, which is a bigger heat exchanger for this car. But you know what's better than bigger? The biggest heat exchanger for this car. By the ones and only Canadian Auto Performance. Oh. Oof. What? What in the world? Why is this so big?
This thing is going to be the key for us to make high horsepower in a reliable manner. Why? Well, it's going to significantly lower intake air temperatures and avoid heat soak, which is a big thing in Florida where I'm from.
Just for reference, 2 inches and a quarter around there. That is crazy. Look at the difference. 3 inches.
Before we can install the new one, we have to remove the old one. But one thing I'm wondering, it is so much bigger, I'm actually questioning if it actually fits or not.
Now you get a really good comparison. Not only is it way thicker, it's also taller. Wow, look at that. This is definitely gonna be the most epic first drive ever. A little twisty. Oh my, this is just massive. What? Wait, are you sure this fits?
I spent a good amount of time analyzing how to make this fit, but I quickly realized I was the issue. I wanted to use the existing hardware from the previous setup. I didn't want to remove the bash bar or drill new holes and use its new brackets. Unfortunately, since the unit is so much bigger, I had to do so.
Sheesh.
And now, just like that, it fits perfectly. When I'm saying it couldn't be a centimeter bigger, I mean it. It fits just perfect. Thankfully, I used the existing hoses and the routes and didn't have to touch much, which is great. Massive thank you to Canadian Auto Performance. All these things are gonna be a must once we fully tune the car. But for now, we have to run errands. We have a dead battery and a debeaded flat tire.
Battery acquired. H9, literally the same size as the OEM one. It should be perfect. $239. Why is this so heavy?
And right after running errands, thankfully, the new front axle came in. It is done. Let's start putting everything back together and getting this car ready for the road.
One thing I noticed last time I started the car, it wasn't turning on, so let's see if it's broken or we just weren't bleeding it correctly. To turn on the pump manually, we actually need an OBD11, which is actually a previous sponsor of ours. Okay, here we go. Oh, it says it's an A5. What? Huh. Cam positioning sensor timing over advanced. Cold start cam positioning timing over advanced.
Why would it give me a timing code? Did we mess up the timing? I'm praying that it's giving me this code from when we started the car with a bad engine.
I'm gonna say that is all due to the bad battery, so I'm going to clear. We're gonna clear all these faults. We didn't get any of those timing things, but I'm guessing when I start the car, they might come back if it's actually out of time. Which, if the car is out of time...
God, please help me.
Okay, so I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is we're getting that error code for the pump because a modification people do to these cars is they literally depin the signal wire that tells the pump when to turn off, so it's always on. So that code doesn't really mean anything because I did check and it has been depinned. Now the bad news is, even though we couldn't figure out how to turn it on with the OBD11, every time I open the door, I should be hearing the pump. So it's simply not working. Time to check the fuse. Someone please explain why that pink thing is on top of the fuses. Is it to protect them from coming out? I've never heard of a fuse just coming out. If it's put in there, it should be okay. There's no need for extra work. If we hear a beep, fuse is good.
Gotta love Audi. But the fuses, unfortunately, are all good. In my opinion, we're gonna sleep it off the rest of the night. Come back tomorrow, and hopefully we have a fresh brain that can process, troubleshoot, and figure out what is going on with the pump. Because if we can't fix it, then we can't really drive the car. And well, right off the bat, I noticed something very strange. There was so much corrosion in these pins, and when I tried to clean it,
Well, now it's really not gonna work. The pin broke.
the pin inside the connector simply just broke off.
We're gonna have to DIY fix this. Audi purists, Audi people, please look away. This pump is pretty much the only thing holding us back from driving this car. It's still dead. It doesn't turn on. Maybe the relay is bad, y'all. Who knows?
But to make sure the pump isn't the issue and it's the wiring, we need to give it 12 bolts directly.
I found a battery. It's completely dead, but we're gonna jump this battery, and as I'm jumping it, it's gonna be connected this plug, and the pump should turn on, if the pump is good. Oh! Let's go! It's turning on! Yes! Oh, that's a lot of cool. Oh my goodness. Yes, my Cuban bomb worked! And it pumped all the coolant up here, which is great. Sometimes you just need a little bit of ingenuity. But we still need to figure out why it doesn't turn on whenever I even unlock the car. So, yeah. Oh,
Wait, with a quick Google search, I noticed something that really stood out to me.
the issue is this is supposed to go to a power source, not a ground, which is how I had it. That is exactly what happens for trying to play the guess game.
Sorry.
This has to work now. Yes! Let's go! Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, let's put the car fully back together and go for a drive. How you feeling? I haven't heard you in a while. Yeah.
And this is a moment for little me back in Cuba who would absolutely go crazy to be in a car like this, let alone drive it.
Wow, seeing this car not up in the air is incredible. We finished, and I only have these bolts left over from the whole dismantle, which isn't that bad. Jokes aside, look how good this car looks. I mean, it's not on jack stands anymore. It is underground, on four wheels. Everything is pretty much put together, ready for its first drive. Oh, that fitment is perfect. Yes.
But unfortunately, I really messed up, and we have one more major mistake to fix before we even drive the car.
Inside the car, getting ready to bleed it. I forgot to connect the hood latch.
And the hood is fully sealed.
I really messed up.
I'm gonna climb under the car. We gotta take off the belly pan that I just put on. It looks so good under there. And hopefully I can see the latch all the way from the bottom and I can be like, please open. And then it opens.
This is how the hood latch mechanism works. The hood goes latched into a unit. That unit has a cable coming out of it that then connects to a cable that goes inside of the car for you to pull the lever and, well, pop the hood open. Well, I forgot to connect the cable that comes from the car to the hood latch, meaning this hood cannot be opened in any way. And unfortunately, looking from under the car, I can't even see where the hood latch is. And to make things even worse, this is what people do when issues like this happen. One last resort, I do know the hood latch is coming towards the wheel well. Maybe we can access it from there.
Oh my gosh. I've never hated the fact that my car's modified so much in my life. The fact that this is in the way. There it is right there. There it is. I just need to get to that. But the fact that this is in the way, which is the cooler or the reservoir for the heat exchanger, doesn't let me get it. All right, we're gonna try to work out some magic here. Here we go, here we go. Pull in slowly and see if it has any tension. Yep. Pull on it. It comes off.
Unfortunately, it failed, but one step closer to pulling off the impossible. I'm able to access the whole mechanism, and through a boroscope, I'm able to see live what I need to be doing. This hammer looking thing needs to go inside of this little hole. And then when you pull the handle from the car, it pulls the springs which are connected to the actual latch, which unlocks the hood. But the issue we're having is every time we pull, everything just comes off. But I think I know why. As we pull, we also need to be holding back this black piece, so all the tension is going against the spring.
Pull it. Let's go! Yes! Oh my god, we did it! Oh my gosh. Yeah! I look like a crazy man right now, but I do not care. That took me like 4 hours. There's only a couple moments in my life where I've experienced true peak happiness. One, when I got married to my wife Christabel, and two, hearing this hood pop.
Through all the ups and downs, the cries, the blood, the stress, everything has led us to this very moment. The almighty first drive.
No lights on the dash. What a blessing. Check this out. So we obviously have the seatbelt light and the e-brake because, well, the parking brake is on. All right, first gear, second gear, third gear. Ooh, dude, I heard the whine, and that was barely any throttle. Oh my gosh. We did it, y'all. Oh man. That's what a supercharged car feels like, huh? That is epic. Ooh, the downshift. Here we go. What? I've heard this transmission's very finicky and clunky. It's been great so far. Woo! Why does it kind of sound like a GTR? It kind of sounds like a GTR. Downshift? Wow!
Is this a Hellcat? Whoa! After everything we went through, it was all worth it. Round of applause, y'all! Yes! My goal is to turn this 2013 Audi that's a little bit dated to a brand new 2025 Audi S5 that looks a lot more modern and aggressive. So let's see if that's possible.
On this table, we have everything we need to absolutely transform the Audi S5 into something really, really epic. I bet 99% of you know exactly what's in this box. And all this was supplied by the one and only Canadian Auto Performance. So all these parts that we're installing today are gonna link in the description. We partnered up to absolutely transform the Audi S5. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if it wasn't for them, this would not be possible. So if you need any Audi parts, hit them up. They are an absolute dream to work with. And they're Canadian. Is Canada part of the US yet? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a very special modification you can do to my Audi to make it look newer, a nice facelift, more aggressive. And that is the Audi RS5 front bumper conversion.
Ooh, that's right. We're crushing the boundaries. Making Audi purists mad. And up-badging a regular S5 to the legendary, rowdy, and iconic RS5.
Now, though this bumper looks absolutely drop dead incredible, unfortunately, it's not going on the car just yet. To go with the front bumper, we got an RS5 gloss black grille, like just mean with the quattro at the bottom. Wife is behind the camera and she's going crazy over it. You like that?
But one thing for sure, we cannot throw on a unpainted bumper on the car. We have to go get it painted by the one and only Lucas. And as for the paint match, even though I would love to drive the car to the paint store, unfortunately, the car doesn't drive right now, but we're gonna get into that later. For now, I'm taking the gas cap. It should be just perfect. These guys do amazing work when it comes down to paint matching. They did it on my BMW 340i, which looks perfect, and I'm sure for the Audi it's going to look just as good. Next time we see this bumper is going to be fully painted, and well, let's get on to the other amazing modifications.
The Audi is known for its incredible looking front end, but the rear end is a little bit lackluster. With this, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you seeing this thing? You see how insane this looks?
Wow, that's sick.
Carbon fiber side mirrors. Over there we have a carbon fiber wing. Over there we have carbon fiber side skirts. Oh my gosh. If you haven't already, leave a big thumbs up. Comment below, what is your favorite carbon fiber part to install on your car?
There's going to be a very special announcement when we reach 300,000 subscribers. So for all those of you that for some reason haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe. Let's continue to grow this massive family, because the bigger we get, the more amazing things we can do on this channel for everybody to enjoy. But one thing for sure, we're going to enjoy these carbon fiber parts on the car. I cannot wait.
And one thing is, Crystal, you're not gonna see the car at all. I'm gonna show it to you after it's done. So don't come back here, okay? You're not gonna see the car until it's done, and then I'm gonna surprise you.
Not only will I be surprising my wife Cristobal with how the car looks, I'm also going to be surprising her as well as you guys with some pretty special news and an announcement about this car. But for now, let's get going. We got a lot of work ahead of us.
Version 3 or third generation diffuser with a functioning brake light. Oh my gosh. This is separate from the bumper. I thought it was all one piece. It's not. 1, 2, and 3 middle bolts. And I think after that it just pops out.
To remove the rear diffuser, it wasn't just those bolts that I showed in the beginning. There was actually 2 bolts hiding, one on each side, right up top next to the exhaust. And after getting that, it was just a matter of pulling it out with a good amount of force.
Oh, this is gonna be hard to get off. I just know it. I just know it. Let's go. Once one side is out, everything should just... There we go. Whew, that wasn't too bad. That was actually pretty easy. Yo, that's insane. Should we just kind of rock this look? I mean, I'm kind of digging it. Okay, we gotta pop the trunk because we do need to tap into the driver's side or passenger side brake light. It doesn't really matter. So we can have the third brake light that is in the diffuser.
And before we throw on the new diffuser, we have to pass the light harness through the bottom of the bumper into the cabin of the car.
Look at that. Oh, we got it. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous.
Crazy enough, seeing this diffuser on the car makes it look just even crazier than it already did.
It's definitely a little tight, that's for sure.
But to throw on the diffuser was a pain and a half. The issue I was having was all the tabs in the middle were clicking in perfectly, except the important ones. The ones on the corners. They simply did not want to click into place, no matter how much force I gave it.
Okay, this has been a little bit harder of an install than I wanted it to be. So, what I'm gonna do is remove the diffuser. We're gonna fully put it on that side and then work our way this way. I was first trying to just put it in the middle and then work out, but maybe doing it this way is gonna be a little bit better. Okay.
Step 1 is removing the exhaust tips.
It snapped. What? That's how old this exhaust system is. Look at that. Just clean off.
That's going to give us a lot more room for activities to really get this diffuser in place, especially on those corners. Step 2 is we make the diffuser fit. And to do that, we're pushing in the diffuser as hard as we can so it fits perfectly, and then we're running a self-tapper through where it clips so it never pops out. Thankfully, it worked, and we had just enough room to make it happen. That fitment is a good 9 out of 10.
Finally. Look how insane that looks.
Wow, that looks good.
Now, when it comes out of the broken clamp, oh, yep. Oh, I think this works. Yep, that's the same size and might be a little bit better.
And since the exhaust tips are already out, why not just give them a little quick clean? And now we put the exhaust tips back into place, but when putting it back, we're pushing them a little bit further out, or actually as out as it gets, because this diffuser is so much more aggressive. The exhaust tips originally would have looked sunken in. And look how good that looks. Squint your eyes. It's an Audi R8.
Okay, on to removing the tail light, which I have no idea what to do, but it kind of looks like a BMW. BMW is 2 bolts here, so I'm hoping it's the same.
Yeah, I'm completely wrong. We remove this little cubby and then we find the almighty plastic bolt. This whole rear toe light is held in by this plastic piece that's then attached to the bolt. To be honest though, it is a lot easier to remove.
Woo, look at that. Nothing broke. Okay, figure out which one is the one that gives power so we can tap into it, and whenever we hit the brake lights, this one also shines.
I have absolutely no idea which wire does what. There's 3 wires to connect coming off the diffuser, and I have no idea where they go. But thankfully, we do have the internet. And
okay, after some research, I think I found which wire goes where. I'm praying that I'm right. But to tap into the wire harness, we're going to be using solder stick. Think of it as a butt connector on steroids. It has a soldering thing in the middle, and how it works is you heat it up, the soldering melts both connections, and the rubber also seals everything up. No, it's not sponsored. I'm just showing you guys what I always use because this thing is absolutely awesome. It's way better than butt connectors.
But now that I think about it, if the internet is wrong,
snip there.
I just cut into 3 wires from the harness for absolutely no reason. It's kind of too late to turn back now though.
Okay, let's see if it works. And the tail light doesn't have to go back on because we did it on the plug side of the car, so I'm nervous.
Did we just electrically total the car, or does it work? Let's go! Obviously, when it's nighttime, we're gonna be able to see how good it looks. But as of now, it works.
Yes, it worked. I saw it flicker, so I wonder whenever you press the brakes, it does that like triple flicker effect. I don't know if that was like the LED or whatnot, but this thing's gonna be insane at night. Now we're gonna put the tail light back and then move on to the trunk. Bottom was incredible, but the rear end still is missing something. Something on the top half. This is Canadian Auto Performance's version 2 spoiler. And oh my goodness, this is gonna look insane. And it's not just regular carbon fiber, they call this dry carbon or pre-preg. I think it's called pre-preg. I don't know what it means really, but all I know is that this looks way cooler and way better than your typical carbon fiber. My favorite thing about modifications like this is how easy it is to do. No bolting needed, no drilling, nothing. Oh, look at this. The fitment is perfect. Actually perfect. I mean, that sits flat. Sometimes these warp a little bit, so you get one side down and the other one up. No, this is perfect. It's really not overly aggressive. It's just perfect. Look at this angle.
This little spoiler really finished off the rear end. It just overall completed it. Now, you can throw it on with 3M tape that it comes with, but if you notice, I didn't really do that. And you're gonna find out way down the line why I didn't fully install this rear wing, but it's gonna be on the car.
Okay. At this point, I don't have to say much. You know exactly what's inside this box. Yo, we're actually transforming this car, and it's so fun and awesome. But okay, inside this box, we have another carbon fiber part.
Okay guys, today I have flag duty. Danny's gonna put them up later, do not worry. But today we have Iraq over here. We got Iraq, Vietnam, Yemen, Suriname, and Eswatini over here on the corner. Comment where you guys are from. I always like to see where you guys are from.
Actually, I'm in an amazing mood, so let's do something. Comment below what you think is inside this box. And after that, you have to comment your Instagram handle or your email. And I will send you $50. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Don't cheat though, don't cheat. Sheesh. Some side skirts. Look at, I can touch the camera. Look at this.
Yes, carbon fiber side skirts. Because stock is simply just a suggestion. Lighter, sexier, and guaranteed to make us 30% faster. That's a factual fact.
Also, quick question because I'm new to the Audi world. What is this? There's like a thing just sticks out for aero maybe?
But something really weird happened.
Why is that so long? This is kind of funny. The side skirt is longer than the car. I don't know what happened. I might have ordered the wrong thing. It's probably my fault. But with that being said, the side skirt is way too long and won't fit on the car. But that's okay, because if it was short, then it'd be an issue. If it's long, it's okay.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to roll with the punches. After measuring it, the car's length is 75 inches. Now the side skirt's a whopping 90 inches, aka for a limousine.
Update, it all makes sense now. I think right here you can see it says must be cut lengthwise by professional to fit properly. Install required by professional. There's one issue though. I am not a professional and I don't know any. No. Did someone say professional? You're not cutting this. I got you. I got you right now. I can. Which one do you want to use? I got you. How many inches? Like 10?
Here we go. Don't mess up.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, now it's the moment of truth. Did I put these on right or not? Let's see. Oh, perfect in the front, perfect in the rear. Yes, that's sick.
Now is the easy part, attach them to the car, which we're doing self-tappers for now. Later on, we're going to be doing self-tappers along with a little bit of 3M tape to really make sure it's on there sturdy. But trust me, it's gonna be on there sturdy. This thing is never coming off.
Oh yeah. I think this one might be more on the controversial side, and I don't want you guys to say if you like it or not until we drop the car to the ground and we see everything put together. But this is as modest as I possibly could have gotten it.
And the trick with these side skirts is making sure they're not too overly extended out and they're not too pushed in. But I'm gonna be honest, after looking at the car with no side skirts, I'm definitely going to say the side skirts are the right move here.
gotta take off this wheel because I do have to shave off a little bit because it is definitely going to rub. Oh, are you kidding me? What? Our goal is to make the side skirt extensions look 100%, and having the wheels rub on them, break the carbon fiber is definitely not gonna be fun. So we have to trim it a little bit, but then I noticed something that was kind of bad. Where we cut the carbon fiber, you can clearly see a white line. So we have to fix it. And after giving it some thought, the best possible way to do this is to just paint it with some black paint. And to be completely honest with you, it looks a lot better than I thought it was gonna. Look at that, like nothing was ever cut. Side skirts are done. I can't wait to see how those look when the car's on the ground. But next up is another carbon fiber component.
Carbon fiber?
A carbon fiber mirror from Canadian Auto Performance will look a ton better. Funny enough, carbon fiber mirrors is usually someone's first ever carbon fiber modification on their car. Why? Because they're easy and they're one of the cheapest pieces. Apparently, it's a little bit more difficult than I thought. It's not just a mirror cap. We actually have to disassemble the whole thing. So I think we try here. Oh, there it is. This isn't just a fun little mirror cap that you take off the mirror cap and then you put the carbon fiber one on. No, we have to dismantle this mirror to the bone. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. We're taking this mirror to its literal skeleton. See, I don't even think that was supposed to come off. Let's go. Okay, I didn't break anything. Look at, this isn't a mirror cap, this is a mirror. On the bright side, it is going to look a whole lot better with the carbon fiber one on, but I miss the simple days when it was just a little cap that you can click on and off. The work may have been a little bit more than I thought, but totally worth it. Look at this. That looks so good. Here we got the old boring silver, and here we got the carbon fiber. What? A small detail, but so sick. Unfortunately, I didn't notice they sent me sequential mirror lights. So we have to take apart the mirror and put it back together. But thankfully, I pretty much became an expert when it comes down to taking apart mirrors from an Audi and putting them back together. Here you can see the stock light in action. And here you can see how much better it looks when it's sequential. Okay, here we are. We stepped away from the car because now we already did the side skirts. We did the diffuser. We did the rear spoiler. Lucas is painting the front bumper. And he just finished painting Ben's front bumper. So look at that. Dude, this white is sick on Audis. I'm on shaking duty. Inside here's the paint. Now I know I got the very tough job of shaking duty, but we can say Lucas is doing a little bit too. Let's go, it's time to paint this bumper. Overall, Lucas is doing 3 coats of the silver, waiting usually 15 to 20 minutes in between each coat, and then I believe he's doing 2 coats of clear. 2 or 3, don't quote me on that, I'm not a paint expert, but I do know this bumper is gonna look incredible. But while we wait for the bumper to finish, we have to go back home because we just received a package, and it's a package for something I've been keeping a secret about the Audi. While going for somewhat of a joyride the other day with this car and having a blast, it quickly turned into something I never wanted it to. And this happened. On the first drive, I noticed a lot of people were saying the clutch was slipping and the car wasn't driving right. I noticed every time I came to a stop, the car lunged forward and it kind of wanted to die. Oh no. Oh, see that? Like try to go and then. See that? Following that, things got really bad. So stop. Oh. That's new. No first, third, fifth, or seventh gear. And I truly didn't know if I would make it home or not. It like slipped completely and then went right into fourth gear. I really thought the Audi issue saga was over, but here we are with new issues. But let's talk about it. What do we think? In my novice opinion, one, it could be regular service. We could drain the transmission, do the proper filling up procedure, and then the car will be 100%. Maybe not. So we move on to number 2, which is a mechatronics repair. After doing some research on these cars, the mechatronics board goes bad, and FCP Euro sells a whole repair kit for it, so you can do it DIY at home. Now, if those two don't work, we move on to number 3. It says clutch pack. You know what that means? Dropping the transmission. 4, new transmission. I am praying that it is either 1 or 2. Now, to make things a ton better, thankfully we live in a world with a company called FCP Euro. You heard me talking about them non-stop. Well, thanks to them, we should be able to solve this issue. Aside from the DSG regular maintenance kit that they sell, they also sell a repair kit which comes with all the oil that you need, and it's the maintenance kit plus a repair kit for the mechatronics. You get a new transmission pan gasket. The actual transmission filter everybody should change out. Who knows, maybe ours got clogged up. We have to be very careful with this, but here is the board that I was talking about, which the solenoids click into here. This is a plug. I'm praying this is the issue, because if this doesn't fix it, well, looks like we're gonna need a new transmission or drop the transmission again, which is gonna be so depressing, but it does make things better that we're partnered up with FCP Euro to send out these stuff. They were super helpful. I talked with them and they said this is probably the best approach. If this doesn't work, then we can talk about other issues that could be going on. But if you need any parts for your European car, you guys know the drill. FCP Euro. All this is OEM, but instead of getting it from a dealership that's gonna charge you like 1,000 times more, they give it to you for extremely cheap, lifetime replacement guarantee, all free shipping over orders for over $49. Here we go. Time to open up the transmission, and I'm praying that by the end of this video, we can drive the car, we can enjoy the car, we can surprise Crystal while she can drive the car. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely nervous right now. Let's do this. I also don't think the transmission service has ever been done, because I do have service receipts and I don't see transmission fluid being done, so sheesh. Huh. Really happy with how this fluid's looking. Let's go. Yes, there's like no powder, nothing from clutches.
To drop the pan is looking pretty straightforward. All we have to do is loosen up all the torque sockets that are holding it up, and then it should come down. And here we have the bottom side of the mechatronics, and this black piece is the internal filter, which we're also changing out. But what's holding on the mechatronics is just 6 bolts, and it should come down.
Bolt number 1, break it loose. Oh, I already heard it crack. Oh, no. Not on me, not on me. Not on me. No. Okay. No.
Okay, this is it. The mechatronics unit, aka the brain of the almighty DSG transmission. It's basically the middleman between your paddle shifters and the clutches, controlling hydraulic pressure to shift gears lightning fast. Sometimes.
Man, look at this thing. This is one of the motherboards, and then here is the other motherboard that we're going to be replacing. But this is probably the biggest mechatronics I've ever seen. Compare that to this mechatronics from a BMW. Look at the difference. This one's just flat, goes in and out. This is more of an L, and well, it is an L.
Here we go, time to repair it. And hopefully it works. And if you're wondering why I'm not just getting a new one, well, that will be north of $3,000 to over $5,000, which I'm definitely not going to spend. Strangely enough, one thing I started noticing was this weird black debris over some surfaces. I'm not sure if it's clutch wear or maybe just fluid contamination, since it's probably never been changed. Thankfully, we are cleaning everything up. Now, one thing we can do before putting back the board is check the ohms or electrical resistance on all the solenoids. Thankfully, everything seemed pretty much the same. The bigger solenoids gave me 4.8 to 4.9 ohms, and the smaller ones were, I believe, 4.1. It doesn't tell me a lot regarding to the mechatronics unit, but at least we know that the solenoids should be electrically okay. Mechatronics done. Now it is time to put back in the transmission, but we have to be very careful and precise. We have to make sure these 4 shift forks are on the neutral position. Now, step 2. I think. On the mechatronics side, we have to make sure the shift fork solenoids are pushed out just the perfect length. In my case, it was 32 millimeters. And let me tell you, even after the measurement being 100%, to get this in was still a pain. But like everything else we do on this channel, we somehow got it done.
And just like that, everything is back together. Definitely not the hardest thing I've done in this car so far, but everything's back together how it needs to be. Pushing that thing up, or the whole mechatronics, and making sure it lines up perfectly with the holes from the transmission, it was a little tricky. My triceps are dead, and today I did arm day, so I was dead going into this, but feeling really good. Everything is back. Now it's just time to pump it. Before we get into the super extremely complicated fill up method of the transmission, first we just gotta pump it till it starts pouring out. Okay, the regular filling procedure is done. Everything in the transmission is done. The only thing I have left is to turn it on, let it get up to temperatures, and then check the oil level again and refill it once again. But we're gonna do that once we finish the front bumper, the rest of the car. This looks so crazy. I need everybody to comment, Lucas is the GOAT. This was the most last minute thing I've ever done, and he was down to do it. This is actually going to look ridiculously different and insane, but let's take that bumper off, then assemble this bumper, and then throw it on the car.
Take a good last look, because this car is about to completely change.
That was a lot quicker than I thought, but bumper is off, and the biggest difference from this bumper to this one is, as you can see, there's a massive opening right here, which obviously goes with grills and stuff. The black dog grill that says Quattro at the bottom, which isn't on yet, is another massive difference. But man, overall, this bumper is gonna look so sick. And the paint match, really good. I mean, obviously there's different lighting going on, but I think it is on point. Obviously we're gonna tell when it's on the car, but so far, perfect. The first thing I want to do before we start throwing anything on is install these resistors. Since the new bumper doesn't have the DRLs the regular S5 bumper comes with, these are little resistors Canadian Auto Performance sent to you, so the car thinks it does have DRLs and you don't get lights in there. So plugs in just like that. Oh, this is just broken. Okay, that's in. Also, another thing I do have to do is we have a small coolant leak that seems to be coming from this pipe right here, which goes to the reservoir for the supercharger. I do want to change out the hose and all the clamps just to be 100% sure.
Off we go on another side quest. And this one is pretty simple. We're pretty much removing all the hoses and, well, putting in new hoses along with new clamps, because I don't want this car to be leaking. And the first test drive we did on it, there was considerably a good amount of coolant coming out whenever it got up to temperatures. This is going to be someone's new daily driver, so I want to be sure it's super close to 100%. And by someone, yeah, you'll see later on in this video.
Are you guys ready for this grill? Check this out. Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, I know. This is going to be so aggressive. My favorite part of an Audi, I said it 1,000 times, is the front end. This big gloss black grill is going to just...
The grill is extremely easy to put on. It just goes clipped on the bumper, and then as a reinforcement, there's a bunch of little bolts all along the back side of it that keeps it in place. But aside from that, oh, I forgot something. This is supposed to go on before the grill goes on. It's pretty much to cover up this weird plastic piece that sits in the back of the Audi emblem, and I'm gonna be honest, it looks a lot better with it on. And next up for the front bumper assembly, the front splitter. Look how nice this look. For the full front bumper, we did go for a gloss black look. I just think it's gonna look so much better dent carbon fiber. Just my opinion though, but here we go. The bottom piece of the bumper just pretty much goes clipped on. It's nothing crazy. One thing I did notice about this car, a lot of trims and pieces just go clipped onto the front bumper. After that, we start moving on to more aggressive pieces. The side grille, I guess you could say. These also go, you guessed it, clipped on, and they're super easy to throw on, and I'm sure they're going to be super easy to take off.
And just like that, that front bumper is assembled and looking oh so good.
This might be the best looking front bumper out of the fleet at the moment. It looks so slick and aggressive, I can't get enough of it. But unfortunately, the bumper did not want to fit on the car.
Looks like we gotta do some cutting. Since the heat exchanger is so beefy, it is hitting somewhere around here. So we're gonna have to cut. Thankfully, that's something we're not gonna see, so it's okay.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of cutting that isn't going to be seen later on.
Nice. Fitment up here has been perfect as well. Look at these headlights with the bumper. Oh, that's so nice. But I want to take the car out, so we have to finish filling the transmission properly. So now we move on to what we consider maybe step number 2 or 3. We need to start the car, put it in reverse, put it in drive, put it in reverse, leave it in park, and we are monitoring the live temperature for the transmission. As you can see, right now it says 26 degrees Celsius. Once that hits around 40 to 45 Celsius, we're gonna turn off the car, get under it, fill it up until we get a good stream of fluid coming out. When we're getting a good stream, that means we're good to go. So loud.
Here we go, the final step to the filling procedure on the DSG transmission. Also, if you want to do this at home, I hope it helps, and it's not as difficult as you may think.
Right there, 38 degrees. That took forever, but when it went to 31, it went up pretty quick. Let's do this. Let's not burn ourselves because under there, it is hot.
The car isn't 100% level, so we have to make sure it is before we start filling up. And after opening the fill cap, no fluid came out, meaning we're doing the procedure just right. It's time to fill her up. Now that we're getting a good amount of stream coming off of the transmission, that should be okay. And hopefully this fixed the notorious transmission issue.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
And let's face it, if I don't give this car at least somewhat of a wash before revealing it to Cristobal and actually looking at the car outside, it would be an absolute letdown. So we had to give her a nice wash.
The weather's perfect right now. It's like a good 70 degrees. It is cool, it is chilly, and we finished transforming the Audi. But there's one special person that hasn't seen it yet. Okay, what do you think? How do you think it's gonna look?
Aggressive.
Do you think it's gonna look better than the BMW or no?
I don't know. I like the BMW.
Okay, so let's go. Okay, we gotta look down. You gotta look down. Get in there.
But so far on the first drive, things are looking really good.
That felt really good, right?
Well, it feels like a roller coaster. It's like 20, or like a airplane when you go to take off.
And that shifted from third to fourth extremely quick. So I'm praying that actually flushing the whole transmission and everything fixed the issue. I'm praying, but that felt really, really good. It was not shifting like that before.
We can definitely say Cristobal approves of the car and absolutely loves it.
Wow, that's shifting extremely quick. Wow. I think we fixed the transmission issue.
Really?
I think so. Third gear, second gear. Are you ready to see this transformation?
Let's see it.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, you can turn around.
Wow. Look at that grill.
Look at this.
Wow, can you guys believe this car looked like this not too long ago in our garage, where we really had no idea if we were ever gonna get it back on the road? And now we're finally modifying it and making it look this good.
The side skirts, we did do carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber.
And then for the rear, hold on. You can come to the rear.
Wow.
Look how crazy.
I stay loving the rear more than the front.
That diffuser looks nuts. I mean,
That looks amazing.
look at how aggressive this diffuser is. And the really cool thing is that little third brake light isn't just for show, that works.
Wow, so functional.
Function.
Sassy.
It looks absolutely stunning. The wheels too, and the wing. What do you think about the wing? It completes it, right?
Yes.
So I haven't fully put on the wing, as you guys can see, but that's because we have another surprise for the car. That's coming later, but this, oh, it looks so perfect.
I love how you balance the front though. It's not too much carbon fiber like everywhere. It's just
Yeah, exactly,
where it
exactly.
matters.
I always ask this, the front or the rear?
The rear.
Really?
I love
Wait, we have to look at the front again.
Okay.
Look at the front though.
I know, and the lettering.
Quattro, baby girl.
I don't know now. Quattro's for the 4 rings. About it.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I thought it was for the 4-wheel drive, but maybe. Oh my gosh.
You mean all-wheel drive?
Oh, okay. I think the craziest part is how this car started, what we got ourselves into, and what it looks like now. We're modifying it. I'm praying we fix the transmission. It shifted incredible though. And now it looks like this, but I do have a surprise. I haven't even told the video this or Crystal behind the camera. So let's hop in the car. Oh, we got a sunroof too?
Yeah,
look, look. It goes forward and then, actually I've never done this. Oh shoot, wait, how do I open it? How do I open it fully? Does it not open fully? Is it a fake sunroof?
And then when do I shift?
Oh, shift. Oh, it's so fun, right?
Oh, I miss doing that.
You miss doing that? Go, go. Go, gas all the way down. Okay. I haven't even told her to do that.
But there's something I haven't really told anybody. I'm not sure how to say this, but I'm pretty much going to be giving Cristobal the Audi. Yup, if she wishes, this will be her daily driver.
Okay, do you like the car?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking this could be like your second car.
Really?
Yeah. So you can just...
Okay.
So whenever you're going to school and you're like, oh, I don't want to drive the X5M, you're like, oh, I can just take my Audi.
Wow, so I have an Audi too?
Yeah.
First of all, gas is rough.
Gas is insanely ridiculous in the X5M, so I think this Audi's gonna help. Dang, I didn't know you had an Audi, girl.
Yeah, it's new actually.
Oh, wait. Look how sick the key is.
That is a cool, it's heavy too.
Yes.
It's a heavy key.
I feel like on the highway, it's gonna be really, really nice.
It feels sturdy. It doesn't feel like, even in the wind, it feels good.
It feels good, right?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it has all-wheel drive.
Oh! Oh, actually, hold on. So, we have been together for 9 years?
8.5.
8.5 years. And our 1-year marriage marriage. Our 1 year same thing. Our 1-year wedding anniversary is in less than a month.
Less than a month.
No, it's in about a month.
About a month.
So yeah, that's my wedding gift. But yeah, so the biggest advice / thing that I can tell anybody is when you find the right person, honestly, I think the whole journey is much better with a partner. Like a partner that understands you, that shares the same vision as you. Because you're there to help each other. Like, you're always helping me, I'm always helping you. And I feel like that's why we've been able to grow so much this whole time. But you gotta find the right person though. Make sure when you're scrolling on Instagram, you don't just get thirst trapped. Here we pretty much have everything we need to really put this car at the next level when it comes down to performance. Let's face it, it's an Audi and the silver doesn't scream Audi. So we partnered up with Vinyl Frog and we're going to be wrapping the car in extremely exotic Audi color. When I first dropped the subframe, one thing that caught my attention was these rotors are extremely old, they're warped, it needs new rotors. But we didn't just get regular rotors. We got some 034 two-piece rotors. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look at these things.
These brake rotors are going to be such a massive upgrade. Not only are they each 5 pounds lighter than the stock rotors, they look absolutely incredible. And the great thing about two-piece rotors is whenever they go bad, the centerpiece stays on and you can simply take out the disc and change it out, which is much cheaper. I'm gonna leave this linked in the description. Massive thank you to 034 Motorsports, because this is going to change the car completely.
Here's where things get very, very exciting and a little nerve-wracking. With nicer, bigger rotors, we need nicer, bigger brake calipers. In this box, we have just that, calipers. But these aren't just calipers.
These are much bigger 4-piston brake calipers from, wait for it, a Porsche Macan GTS. Yes, a Porsche SUV, you heard that right.
There's pistons coming from in here and in here, fully contracting the rotor from both sides, making braking much better than the stock system that's in the car. Now, is this gonna work? It should. But honestly, I genuinely have no idea.
If we pull this off and it works as it should, Crucible's going to have the best brakes to stop all the power we're throwing into this car in this video. But let's get going because we have a lot of work to do, and I'm gonna be honest, I cannot wait to modify this car.
When I announced I was giving the car to Crystal, everybody's like, take it back. She already has the X5M. Like, I'm pretty sure all of you know this, but we're married. Whatever's hers is mine, whatever's mine is hers. So it's really not that big of a deal. Like, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, these rotors are toast. Warped, uneven, and that lip, yeah, that's a one-way ticket of shaky brakes and bad stopping power.
And now take a look at this lip. I mean, this is exactly how it's supposed to be. That's insane.
Step 1 to removing the rotor is disconnecting the brake line. And thankfully, we also got brand new stainless steel brake line from the one and only 034 Motorsports as well.
Oh, that's leaking a lot. Step 2, remove the caliper.
Another thing that's not a stranger to us. To remove the caliper completely, it is 2 18mm bolts in the back. Extremely hard to take off.
No. No.
Come on now, dog.
A moment of silence for yet another adapter.
Oh, here you go, here you go. Oh, brake just squirted everywhere. Oh, shoot. It is out. Yes.
Now, removing a rotor is something I'm a stranger to when it comes under European cars. And it is just one little bolt that's holding everything on, and then it should come off.
That is rusty on there.
Okay, maybe it needs a little bit of convincing.
Oh, there we go. Oh, one side, success. Now let's do the other side, and I'm praying that everything goes according to plan, like I just did.
Man, I know I've said it a couple times, but I absolutely love these wheels. They came with the car, and I have not taken them off. And now we can do to the passenger side what we did to the driver's side and pray that nothing breaks, because that won't be fun. Passenger side caliper is off, but of course in the process we discovered some destroyed things.
This fender liner is gone. How did this car have this set of wheels and an intact fender liners for years? Ooh, maybe it's that the undershard wasn't on. Maybe that's why. Yeah, we gotta throw the undershard back on after this, 100%. Front rotors and brakes are out. Now we can move on to the next thing, and no, the next thing is not installing this incredible setup of brakes. The next step is painting these brakes.
If you're like me and you don't like spraying the brake calipers and making a huge mess, there's a company called G2 Brake Caliper where you use a brush and paint the calipers. The last time I used it turned out really good, so we're gonna do it once again on the Audi.
Color we're going with is yellow. Maybe that'll let you guys figure out what color we're wrapping the car.
And how it works is very simple. The paint comes in a can, and then you throw in this activator, and boom, you gotta start painting. My strategy is doing little by little, making a light layer, then a little bit of a darker layer, then more of a layer, then another layer. And I think going slowly and adding a thicker layer every time is going to give us that perfect finish we're looking for. But here we go. The one downside is it does take forever, and we have to get going because turns out I have a lot less time than I originally thought because I forgot about one very important thing.
Okay, I would say maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours later. I think it looks really good. We still have to let it fully dry, level itself out. So right now it's looking probably like an 80% compared to when it's fully done, but it looks incredible.
Even at an 80%, look how good these look. I cannot wait to really get a good look at them when they're on the car and the car has its new color and is as fast as possible.
Okay, now that we got both calipers out, let's compare a side by side. Yes.
Introducing the 034 Motorsports 2-piece rotors with the Porsche Macan brake calipers. Let's compare these to the old brake setup. I mean, what a night and day difference. There's nothing better than a car with nice brakes.
And this is why that one is a massive upgrade from this one. These ones only have one piston, which is back here on this side. Now, let's be honest, I'm just praying everything works how it should, and I don't have the wrong model of Audi to do this kind of fun upgrade to. From, obviously, 034. Stainless steel brake lines. Yes.
But here we go, the moment of truth. I know the rotors are going to fit 100%, but the real question is, are the calipers going to fit how they should with no special modifications? Because it's weird that a caliper from this will fit in a little Audi S5.
What? Are you kidding me? That's what a proper Audi should look like. Let's throw on the new brake pads. We got the wrong size brake pads. These are not it.
That's a bad start to the brake calipers already. We got the wrong size pads. But either way, we can still throw them on the car and see if they fit. Ladies and gentlemen, the internet wins. The caliper fits. Let's go. Are you kidding me? You're telling me I could put a caliper from this car on an Audi? I really do love German engineering.
Obviously, we're still waiting for the calipers to come in because I ordered the wrong one because I'm an idiot, but this looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean,
now that we have the brake-in on lock, looks like we're going to be able to proceed with pushing this car to its absolute limit later on in this video. And even crazier, God willing, we're going to be launching this car for the first time ever and with Cristobal in the car.
Okay, try to keep up. Right now it is March 20th. Awesome. Well, 10 days from now, exactly 10 days from now, Cristobal and I are taking a little drive, a little trip to Orlando, Florida, to the parks, which is incredible. We love going there, but I totally forgot we're taking the Audi. And we still haven't even wrapped the whole car. That usually takes me a week, and we still have to tune it, do the performance mods. You know where I'm going with this, right? We need to move. We need to start wrapping the car already and really get this going. Not only that, like I mentioned, in this box is more parts from FCP Euro. We cannot drive this car 4 hours away without installing these parts. It's not safe, and it will not be very smart of me to do so. And this is gonna be a pretty lengthy install, so we need as much time as possible. Let's get going.
Thankfully on the rear, the calipers aren't as big and we're not fully disconnecting the brake lines. But we do have to fully take them off and install their new rotors, and then after, paint the calipers. But we should be finishing in time. At least I hope.
Okay, since we're doing the rear brakes, there you go. Okay, electric e-brake should be off. Now,
it's time to remove the caliper. Very similar to the front, it's just two big bolts in the back, which are a little bit harder to get to, but nothing is impossible. And then it should come off. But in our case, the caliper simply does not want to come off. For some reason, does not matter what we do, the caliper just doesn't want to come off. And this is really bad because we don't have a whole lot of time. This thing does not want to come off. What? But then I quickly remembered, wait, I'm working on an Audi.
I just had another Audi moment. Turns out, just by retracting the brakes the way I did, isn't enough. We have to go through a scan tool, manually retract them, and then I guess we can take them off. I'm an idiot. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Well, that sounds like it's working.
Look at that!
You know, at this point, you just gotta love Audi. And I'm sure it's not just an Audi, it's maybe just newer cars.
Let's see how long this side takes. Here we go. Boom. And it took... Oh no! The phone died! The phone died! No! No! Okay, 4 minutes have passed, but 29 minutes. Okay, it's time to finish the brakes. Not gonna lie, they look a little big. Oh my gosh. This is literally the same thing. Is this how it goes?
I really just ordered the wrong size brake pads again.
Did I order the wrong brakes again? I'm gonna sound really dumb saying this again, but I found the right brake pads, okay? And I know I found them because I saw a video of somebody doing it. Boom, place the order, should get here tomorrow.
But for now, let's just focus on finishing up painting these calipers so then we can move on to the next thing. Rear calipers look amazing, but now we have to pick everything up because we need to start wrapping this car. Yes!
Alright, here we go. Comment below what color you think we are wrapping the Audi. This is from the ones and only Vinyl Frog. If you want a Vinyl Frog wrap for your car, that will be linked in the description. Wow. Orange. Not just an orange, a yellowish orange. It was between yellow or orange. I wanted to mix both and get a very rich color, not anything tacky. This is the nicest orange I've seen. This is perfect.
This is no longer going to be your regular grandmother's Audi. The car is now loud and exotic looking. It just got a whole new attitude.
But this really reminds me of the BMW M3 orange. I feel like this is that exact same color. Obviously not exact, but very similar.
Let's jump right into it because there's nothing I want more in the world than seeing this car fully wrapped. And before we throw on the wrap, we need to make sure the car's fully clean. So we gotta start off with a nice little wash.
Squeaky clean fender. We do have to take off the supercharged logo and I do have to put some alcohol on it. But first, let's measure this. We got 44 and a half. Definitely on the longer side. I would say 45. Height 30. Okay. Okay.
Even though the fender's clean, before throwing on wrap, I do want to go ahead and spray it with alcohol. This is really going to get rid of all the little particles and everything that's still on the paint. And now we're able to cut the wrap knowing the surface it's going to go on, it's clean. And when cutting, I usually like to cut an extra 3 to 5 inches from what the panel measured out to be, just to be safe and have a little bit of playing room, because you never know.
Boom!
And just like when important decisions are made, there's no turning back now.
I wish the camera can pick up this orange. The day's ending and it looks like such a much lighter color.
Wrapping this fender has been a breeze so far. You really just have to stretch it before putting it down. And yes, I'm leaving residue where the Supercharged logo sat, so I know exactly where it goes when I'm putting it back. And I hope this is giving confidence to everybody out there to go and wrap their car whatever color they want. I remember when I was too afraid to do so, but trust me, when you start doing it and going through it, it is not as difficult as it looks. It just takes a lot of patience and practice.
I think this is a much better look as to what the orange actually looks like. This color's very exotic. That's all I'm gonna say. We're really against time here, y'all. This is gonna be hard to get done, but we have to get it done. There's no other choice. So with that being said, let's get going with the other fender. And comment below, if you could wrap your dream car in any color, what color would it be?
The driver's side fender now, this one has quite a bit of damage, but there's nothing some sanding and some Bondo can't do. And if you're wondering about that imperfection, it looks good. And this isn't a wrapping tutorial, but don't forget, make sure you tuck everything in. And I can't lie, this color looks incredible on this car. Wow. But now we take our skills onto bigger panels, and that is the hood. And unfortunately, the hood does have quite a bit of imperfections, and all these little chips you can see through the wrap, so we have to sand them down. We do have to grab Kevin because there needs to be a lot of stretching, and if you have someone else helping, it makes it so much better.
69 by 50. Thank God, because I think this roll lengthwise is 55. If the hood was longer than 55, that would have been pretty bad, but okay. We're good, we're good. Oh, the length is perfect. If anything, I cut way more than I needed, but okay. Better.
With bigger panels, things like peeling off the wrap just get that much more difficult.
Necesito más para acá, necesito más para acá. Yep. Tira. Oh, that was good.
Huh?
Nice, that's good.
And now we just squeegee away. Draw a big line down the middle and then go outwards.
Boom, hood is 90% done. All we have left is to do all the cutting. Yeah, we have approximately 2 days left to finish the rest of the car. So far, we gotta cut the hood, we did the fenders. After the cutting the hood, we're doing the front bumper.
And let me tell you, I am not looking forward to wrapping the front bumper. Front bumpers are the reason vinyl wrappers have trust issues. In general, they just suck to do.
But with that being said, off to the front bumper. Thought it was gonna be way harder, but in reality, it's not. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this one piece. This is gonna be piece number 2, and then this is gonna be piece number 3.
I'm not sure if that made any sense, but I think my theory is going to be a good one. Before we start wrapping the bumper and doing the little inlays, we do need to take the bumper off and take off the grill as well as the little side grill, so we make sure the wrap gets in all the tight spots and everywhere it needs to be. Even though I'm in a hurry to get this car done already so we can tune it, give it as much horsepower as possible and launch it, we still need to make sure we do things the right way. And after laying down the knifeless tape, now we can do all the inlays in the bumper. Inlays are crucial when wrapping cars because vinyl can only stretch so far before it starts failing. Pretty much think of inlays like reinforcements. They can go in deep creases, around sharp corners like the bumper, and around tight areas where the main piece of the wrap would wrinkle, lift, and pretty much tear over time. I can't believe I'm saying this, but so far the plan is working. Usually the front bumper is the hardest piece to wrap, but at this point, it's been extremely easy. And yes, we did have to put it on the car because it's much easier wrapping it this way.
Front bumper done. Obviously, we haven't put the grill on. We don't know how it's actually looking, but that looks flawless. You cannot tell at all. It's 1, 2, and 3 pieces. It actually turned out amazing. I'm so happy that my theory worked. Now, we're moving on to the roof. As you saw, we already did the first panel. That's very easy, but we have an issue. This is the antenna, and we have to wrap this roof. Well, I don't want to take off the antenna because we got to pull down the headliner. We got to get in there. We don't have enough time for that. You guys know we need to finish this in like 2 days, and I do want to finish off the roof today. What I'm going to do is we're going to wrap around the antenna. This might be extremely difficult.
Heck, extremely difficult, but not impossible. And if it means we can do it without taking out the antenna, I'll take it. We miserably failed. Like, to the point where it's really bad. We're gonna come back to this later, and we're gonna salvage the wrap and do the trunk.
After that failure, we're doing the trunk. You saw we did the top side, now we're doing the bottom side. Took off the license plate. Never taken off, but we're also taking off the S5 logo. Should I put it back? I'm definitely putting it back, but
those are famous last words, as you might see later on in this video.
Trunk is done. Now, it's missing something. That is Canadian Auto Performance's carbon fiber wing. It's their pre-preg carbon fiber. Looks incredible. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to get it. You guys know the drill with these wings. All you need is 3M tape and they go right on. Very easy. Probably one of the easiest installs. No turning back now.
We really are making really good progress on this car, and now it is time to move on to the doors. But to be able to wrap the doors, we do have to remove the door handles. And if you know anything about Audi, they are a pain to put back into place. And how do I know? Well, I know someone that went through it.
Yeah, to put them back, you're gonna have to take off the door pin.
Ugh.
You might need another person to do it, to be honest.
Really?
Something tells me we're not gonna have a fun time putting the door back together, but for now, let's focus on one thing at a time. And let me tell you, even though we're in a hurry, I am extremely happy with how the wrap is coming along.
We're making a lot of progress. Both doors are done. Now, the next plan of action is the side skirts.
And this Audi is an S-line trim, meaning it has that weird extra side skirt at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to be wrapping that by itself, and then we'll do the rest of the quarter panel on its own.
Seeing this car orange is so strange, but okay, we come down here. I did the weird side of the side skirt. It actually turned out really, really nice. Ignore that, we still have to finish it, but we cut it off right here. And what I'm going to do is, right now we're gonna do the whole quarter panel, and the quarter panel is going to meet up right in the middle with the rest. No one's gonna see that, and it's just gonna be much cleaner than connecting it on this side. With that being said, we have to measure the whole quarter panel and cut it out because that is the next thing on the list. 48 inches from there to there is 48 inches, 88. All right, let's see, 88 plus 38.
Yup, you slightly saw that right. 124 inches long. Of course, we did have to call out Papa Z because cutting this on my own is going to be almost impossible.
That's how much you have to cut. Now, I feel like I overcut, but better be safe than sorry, right?
And my motto for doing this quarter panel, be patient. Now I figured that's enough of me rapping. Even though it was very difficult to wrap this car, you guys already know, we pulled it off. We did both quarter panels, we did the rest of the trunk, and we did, finally, the rear bumper. And this car looks absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Oh, and regarding those door handles, we somehow pulled it off with no help and without taking apart the inner door.
Here you go, moment of truth.
How? I simply don't know. Thankfully, the brake pads arrived and they fit perfectly.
That is 2. Let's go.
They slide right from the outside, then you put the clip in and the pin goes across to hold the pads in place.
Okay, now we're gonna use my favorite machine for bleeding brakes. I love this thing. Thread that down, put this on here just like that, right? We then pump this up. It creates pressure, and it's as if someone was pressing down the brake pedal. That's gonna allow us to break the calipers open until fluid starts coming out. That means they're good. Easy.
Ooh, and we can't forget about our plus 10 horsepower stickers. One on each wheel, that means plus 40 horsepower, baby. But now, before we can tune this car and give it as much horsepower as possible, we need to fix it.
It's time to change wardrobe. Yeah, that's right. When this comes out, you know something's about to go wrong or something's about to go down because I've been keeping something from you throughout this whole video. Throughout the life that this car has been daily driven, which has been kind of right about a month now, it developed a very bad squeal. Yeah, it doesn't sound great. And I did notice it's not the belt from the engine, it is the supercharger belt. Now yes, we did a whole drivetrain swap on this car, and guess who didn't change the pulleys? Listen, I'm not perfect, but you know who is perfect? FCP Euro. Now, I don't know if that transition was annoying or great, but I went ahead and purchased every single idler pulley and tensioner for this car. As I said, they pretty much have everything when it comes down to European cars. But what we have to do now is put this car into service mode. I sound like a dealership. That's disgusting. I can't believe you said that.
And what service mode basically means is we're taking the whole front support and we're pushing it out. Because there's such little room to work with in the engine bay, this should give us plenty of room to take out the pulleys, tensioners, and everything else. First thing we have to do is get under the car and disconnect the 2 bars that connect the core support to the chassis. And then we can come to the top and we can start unbolting the crash bar. And as you're seeing, the whole front end is pretty much coming apart.
Not only service mode, you can't use a regular ratchet. I had to get a specialty. Cool, look at this. This is like a ratchet, but look how skinny it is. For everything to fit and be able to take off the pulleys and stuff. Look at this thing.
And here we go. With a specialty tool, I'm pretty much unbolting the whole core support. Now we can get to the pulleys and the tensioner. Actually, the tensioner, we do have to get from under the car, but it actually wasn't as difficult as I thought all this was gonna be. And now we have a peace of mind. Out with the old and in with the new.
Supercharger, pulley, and idler pull. I don't know what I changed, but done. Now, before we put the bumper on and start putting everything back together and then get to the tuning and all the fun stuff, I do want to do something that everybody commented, and that is paint the bash part black because the bumper is going to look way nicer with the blacked out bash bar.
Now, this isn't a professional how to paint job. It is a pretty simple mask off with what you got, grab a random gloss black spray paint can, and go crazy. There's not a whole lot to it. We're painting metal black. And let's be honest, it looks really good.
Look how insane that looks. Wow. But we have an issue, and it should be the final issue. Now, since we don't have time to take it anywhere, we're going to attempt to plug up the wheel with this kit that I bought. I think it was like $15. What can go wrong? By the way, these are very expensive tires. I'm gonna fix this. No turning back now. Step 2, we really clean up the hole. There we go. All right, just gotta get through. Now it's really gonna come out. Oh my gosh. Oh, shoot. Okay. Step 3. We throw it at me. Oh no, it's not working. Oh boy. Okay, I'm using this white stuff. I think this is how you use it. I think the issue was that I was twisting. I gotta go in straight. Oh, it worked. Let's go, it worked. We drop drive trains, wrap cars, and the best of all, we can plug tires.
Whew, I feel like I was never gonna be able to pull this off, but we did it. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's really push this car to its limits.
Car is orange and looking better than ever, and the brakes should be braking. But there's one thing they say about orange cars, and that is, no matter what, they cannot be slow. If you have an orange car, it cannot be slow. Actually, I just made that up. But either way, we partnered up, obviously, with 03 Motorsports. You guys nonstop told me I need a 034 Motorsports Stage 2 Plus, I think, tune and a transmission tune. And guess what's inside here? Oh man, I've never tuned an Audi in my life, so see how this goes.
With this 034 Motorsports tuning dongle, we're going to be able to tune the car to Stage 2 Plus right from our phone. Now this should be pushing the car to right over 450 to 500 wheel horsepower, as well as unlocking for us some incredible features like increasing the RPM limit and launch control. Also, the only reason we're able to do a Stage 2 Plus is because we are running the bigger throttle body, a smaller supercharger pulley, a bigger crank pulley, a carbon fiber intake, catalyst downpipes, and a full exhaust.
Now I do know a couple things, and I do know there's an app that we do have to download to be able to tune this car, the 034 Motorsports app. Now we gotta sign in, and the tune should be under my account. We plug in the OBD2, and I think we just flash it. I don't know.
Before flashing it, and before I forget, we are going to install a brand new air filter. These things get overlooked like crazy, and I'm pretty sure mine has never been cleaned, so it's a good performance upgrade.
Here we go, scanning. Again, we have to give a massive thank you to 034 Motors. This would not be possible without them, and they're helping me, surprise Cristobal, make this car as efficient as possible, and it just bets it's as better as possible. Cristobal has no idea that this little phone and this little app is gonna make her Audi so much faster. I cannot wait
to launch this car with her in it and really see her reaction. And my reaction, I've never launched this car, so whew, I'm nervous. Okay, first things we're doing is flashing the transmission tune, but there's one thing I noticed. We have to flash it back to stock before we can actually throw on the transmission tune.
Now we gotta act normal till it's done flashing. Bad. Audi.
Parking brake malfunction. Woohoo! Stage 1 or stage 1 race? I did the race. Boom. Let's make this transmission shift quick. Here we go. 99% on Lambo shifts. 100. Now on the flashing tab, we can go to ECU. And look at all these options. Oh man. And as for the stages, we went with the best one, the Stage 2 Plus, the super duper throttle body with the racing catalyst. There's so many options for launch control here and just how the car acts. There's a lot for if we're running water method injection, which we're not. A lot for when we're running E40, which we're not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the 93R7.2, which is high ref to 7600, left foot braking, and advanced launch. And it does have crackle because the other ones say no crackle. This one doesn't say that. And you know who loves crackles? Christabel. So she's going to be very happy. When the car's getting tuned, it starts geeking out. All the codes come up. Everything goes crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, finally, this car is tuned.
Oh my, I was so nervous for all that, but I'm gonna be honest and say an honest review. In a world where Audis have been the most difficult car I've ever worked on, tuning the car was simply just as easy as tuning a BMW. So 034 Motorsports, massive W's in the chat. That was actually awesome, being completely honest. So if you want to tune your car, hit up 03 Motors or any other modifications we installed today. With that being said, this car is as fast as it can possibly be. We have to get going. Let's surprise the princess herself, and then we can get this car ready for the road trip.
Now we have to quickly limp the car to the dealership to get the AC filled, because we cannot drive to Orlando with no AC, especially in this Florida heat that's absolutely horrendous. But look how incredible this car looks under the lighting. I mean, it is incredible. That's the only word I have for it. Plain amazing. I cannot wait to see what Christabel thinks. And the fact that we were able to pull off what I thought would be the impossible just makes me that much happier. We're doing this.
They're never gonna do that. So this is 29th. Tomorrow's the 30th. It's the day we're leaving. But there's an issue. How can I say this? In a lot of states, this wouldn't be a big issue, but the fact that we live in Florida and we're taking like a 4-hour road trip, this is a big issue. And the thing is, this car doesn't have any AC right now. It's holding pressure, so there's no leaking in the system. I'm really frustrated right now. Even though we did the impossible, I literally can't believe we did it. There's one big issue, and the car doesn't have any AC. Today's the final night. I'm gonna see what I can figure out. Check fuses, check relays. I'm praying that we get it to work, but as of now, it's not looking great.
I checked every single fuse in the car. I even double checked that the car was properly filled with AC. And unfortunately, nothing. I can't seem to figure out what is going on with the car. But I did get a code for the AC pressure sensor. I'm hoping that's the issue, but either way, we're leaving tomorrow morning. And I'm gonna be honest, even though we pulled off the impossible, something as silly as air conditioning is not gonna allow us to fully do what we wanted, which was do a road trip in this car. But that's not gonna stop us from having an incredible surprise for her.
Today is the day. Look down, don't look up.
I'm looking down.
If you look up, you're fired. Oh, sorry. Grass is wet.
I have my Crocs on.
Okay, you can turn around in 3, 2, 1.
Wow. That's crazy. That is a bright orange.
How insane.
Wow, that's a nice color.
Wow. Come here.
I don't think I've ever seen an orange car in person. That looks really cool.
How insane does that look?
That looks really cool. I love the black with the orange.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of like a sunset orange.
We also got nice new brakes.
Yeah.
Those bright yellow calipers.
They're from a Porsche Macan, a Porsche
Oh,
SUV.
wow,
So
those are big.
You're gonna be going fast, you're gonna be looking cool, and you're gonna be stopping fast. Now, here's the bad news, honey. Unfortunately, we can't drive this car up to Orlando.
Why?
There's no AC.
Oh, wow.
I'm not gonna do that to you. We're in
That's
Florida,
okay.
it's hot, and we just shouldn't drive that car to Orlando.
It's okay.
So now, it looks great, but it's tuned. It's got a fun little stuff going on by 034. So we did a stage 5 oil change.
How many stages of oil change are there?
Let's go for a drive and you'll find out. Here we go, moment of truth.
It breaks.
The car brakes, let's go. Woo! Thank you for trusting me.
Yes.
Did you hear that? So we got Pops. Okay, I should probably tell you what we've done to the car. So I told you everything exterior, which, what do you think?
I love the color. I love that color.
Now we're gonna get like a nice view of it, but aside from that, we partnered up with 034 Motorsports. We tuned the car, we gave it a stage 2 plus tune, and we did a transmission tune, meaning this car's fast. How fast? As fast as it can get with the current modifications. And for the first time ever, we're going to be doing a launch control.
That sounds fast.
Co-pilot, ready?
Check.
Oh my gosh! That was insane! That was insane! Holy!
I think I'm crying.
Honey!
Sweating and crying.
I was like, what? Speechless is an understatement by how this car's making me feel. I mean, that is insane. But how does it sound from the outside? Wow, that two-step sounds insane from the outside, and the car just hooks and books. Wow, Audi, that was incredible. Co-pilot, ready?
Check.
All right, here we go. That's insane.
I didn't know cars can do that. How thrilling was that?
To think that once upon a time this car was here, and I randomly found it through Marketplace. Jumped into the project not thinking how intense it was going to be. Did things I never imagined I could do. Completely transformed it, and now we're here. Looking better than ever, and I'm blessed enough to say I was able to gift this to my wife. What a beautiful journey this has been. And as for the perfect trip I had planned with the car, well, sometimes God just has different plans for us. And we have to learn to respect it, trust it, and be happy with it. We still went on that trip with the X5M. We visited various parks at Disney. Had a ton of fun, took some amazing pictures, and truly had some memories that we're never going to forget. Sometimes the best things in life come when they're not planned. I love you guys. Be safe.